Hello, hello. Welcome to Doctors and Dungeon Masters. I am Kelly Breivik, a PhD student at UWM, and I am the Dungeon Master. And we are joined by two new guests because Corey and Eric will not be here this week.
Hi, I'm Sam. That's that.
Yep.
That's me.
I'm Josh Rivers, a PhD student in the Anthro department here at UWM.
And I am Lane Leaves, I'm a PhD student also in the anthropology department here at UWM. Sam is playing Bridget, and Josh is playing Lucky, and as per usual, I'm playing Ash.
So they will be taking over some of the NPCs this week.
Yep.
They know very little about this world, so
Whoa.
I figured...
What is happening right now, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll let you do the recap, and then we'll give a little bit of world building
Cool.
for them and for anyone who is a little behind on stuff.
Awesome. Recap. So, last week we started a murder mystery. This adventure that we're still in. Me and Corey, whose character's name is Franz, went to a ball. How did we get invited to the ball? I went home. We found out there was a ball.
Like any rich person got invited, pretty much.
And then, did the Thieves Guild ask us to go find information?
The thieves did.
Okay. Yeah, so Thieves Guild asked us to go find information on the mayor, and the mayor's daughter was having her 16th birthday party. 18th birthday party.
It says creepy when it's 18. Because you were hitting on her as like an older...
No, I was hitting on Bridget, and I only did that to get her away from Lucky because she gave me the help me, save me eyes. Mm-hmm. For the record.
Fair enough.
I just want it to be known that she did ask for help before he went over there. My character is a little bit of a douche, just so everyone is aware. So we went to the party, and Lucky... So Bridget was the mayor's daughter's best friend. And the mayor's daughter's name was...
Yasmin.
Yeah, and Sam will be playing Bridget. And Lucky... should I give the backstory on Lucky?
A little bit.
Alright, so originally when we were coming into the city, we came across a dog who was super friendly and was following us around. That dog turned out to be a druid and tried to steal everything from us in the middle of the night.
Cool.
And we, of course, stopped him from doing that. And gave him a relatively good beatdown. And then Lost a tooth, which is now replaced by an emerald tooth, by the way.
Okay.
Which his parents have. His parents deemed was necessary. He did not choose it. We decided that Lucky was an underclassman when, in Bard College, when Ash was an upperclassman. And he got into a lot of scrapes. So Ash ended up dragging him home a lot, and getting him out of trouble and such.
Okay.
So then Lucky was there because he's also... So Ash, whose actual name is Alabaster Crane, they are both high society. So we were both invited. Our families were both invited to this gala / I don't know. Ball.
Like,
it's not even really a ball. It's not a formal
Listen,
ball.
I didn't know that when I agreed.
It's a chill ball. Where
it's like a fancy quinceañera.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we all sat down. Lucky went to go steal some stuff because we told him to.
You had to find dirt on the mayor. So
Yeah.
What am I actively trying to steal right now?
You were looking for information, and we found out the wife of the mayor is a member of
the
Inquisition, who is against magic users. Put the office back together, snuck Lucky back downstairs, and then went to dinner, where Yasmin proceeded to die at the table. Likely magically poisoned. Did we decide whether or not I was telling them the thing?
You are not.
I'm not. Okay. So, yeah, Yasmin dies at the table. the mayor, who was also a previous officer.
Yeah, he was like a PI.
Okay. Detective man, proceeded to, like, get real hostile, as one would expect, because his daughter had just died.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ash and Franz decided they were going to take all the kids at the table back to Ash's place to get away from all of the adults.
Okay.
Because Bridget seemed to know about magic, which in this city magic is banned. So, because it's run more or less by the Inquisition. So they wanted to get out of there so they could actually talk about some stuff outside of the adults.
Mm-hmm.
So for the record, Ash is like 25,
Okay.
and he's the oldest of them. So Franz is 15. Is he here? How are we doing that?
I'm gonna say he gets, like, in the morning he goes to his Thieves Guild because he has to report back.
Right.
Or not the morning, but like late at night.
Right.
Once
Okay.
you establish that everyone's okay here, he goes back to the Thieves Guild.
Cool.
Yeah, Lucky's like early 20s. Bridget is also 18. How would you describe Lucky and Bridget? Just so they have an idea.
Lucky and Bridget and Yasmin were like the Three Musketeers if two of them disliked one of the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Lucky was like the tag-along post dropping out of Bard College.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And despite being the oldest, he's like the least.
Mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And
That's
then
you.
Mm-hmm.
Bridget, how would you describe her?
I mean, like Sam. Pretty much. She's sarcastic and intelligent and also just like an ass. But
That fits.
but only when it's like pertinent. So
Mm-hmm.
that's was it what the fuck Becky that you used to say or I still say?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she did give a what the fuck Lucky. Oh no, that was Yasmin that said what the fuck Lucky. But when you said what the fuck
But
Becky.
that's that one phrase that you used to use all the
Oh,
time.
this fucking sucks, Becky.
Yeah, this fucking sucks, Becky.
Mm.
Is
Is
that
that
is
the-
yeah, that is
okay.
Bridget. Yeah.
Well, that fits.
Yep, and just to catch you up on the lore, pretty much, up until 3 years ago, magic did not exist whatsoever.
Mhm.
A meteor hit the planet 3 years ago, and at that point, magic erupted. Probably like about a third of the planet became magical in some way, either by being able to use it, or like cats became tabaxi, and big, lizards became dragonborn, and they now have, thought beyond animal thoughts. Some places are more welcoming than others, but in Taizhou, which is this city-state, in general, it's kind of hostile. In Taizhou City, which is the capital, it is absolutely you will die if you use magic, more or less. A couple weeks ago, a second meteor hit, and magic it was just like another eruption of magic. So for those of you who are magic users, you kind of like quote unquote leveled up at that point. And then the last bit, it's escaping me right now, but maybe I'll remember. It's okay. So it's the evening. You were just arriving at Ash's place at this point. You realize, you two, Bridget and Ash, realize that the mayor is going to be... The plan did not work, more or less. Do you want to let Lucky in on the plan before we discuss moving forward?
What was the plan?
Well, the plan with Yasmin, that Yasmin and Bridget hatched. That Lucky,
It didn't work. Like I guess I don't know what that means that it didn't work. You're gonna have to face with me, girl.
The plan where they were trying, where they felt that the mayor was being pressed by the Inquisition, so she
Yeah.
removed herself from the equation
Yes.
so that he would break ties with the Inquisition.
Right.
But now, because of the way that it appears that she died.
Right. Because of those magic users, it has made the Inquisition. It has made his tie with the Inquisition stronger.
That's
That
what
makes
you
sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So.
Cool. So
And
my
right now,
fears
Lucky
from
was-
last week are realized.
Oh, you don't know. I mean, it's still like 5 minutes after last week.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
But you
That's what
sent
we
Lucky out.
assumed.
Lucky, by the way, was just crying the entire time.
He really,
He really
was.
was.
He really,
Because he
really
was just sad and scared, more or less.
Okay,
So, do
okay.
you plan on letting Lucky in at this point, or are you still letting him be outside of the room while this happens?
I don't know what you think.
I mean, I think we have to let. Well, okay. So my question really is:
Mm-hmm.
do you think Lucky can keep a secret?
Well, I don't know him as well, so I don't know. I don't know. He seems to be very immature, even though he's 21 years old or whatever. But it would help to have everyone like
Sure.
pulling on the same string.
We'll bring Lucky in.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll say.
Otherwise, this whole thing is
Yeah.
going to be real awkward. So.
Yeah, makes it easier to communicate.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you drag Lucky inside. He's still, tear streaked on his face. His mouth is sore from his fresh tooth that Franz has threatened to take several times.
Oh yeah,
At this
did
point.
Franz take it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Too bad for Franz. He had to go back to the Thieves Guild.
Yeah, I know. He must
Without
have
the damn tooth.
slipped his mind. So you get dragged inside. Now, what's your plan? How do you plan on dealing with this?
So, Bridget has told me that Yasmin's not actually dead.
I don't know this character at all.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's alright.
I'll try and stop sniffling a little bit. What? She's not actually dead?
No. No, she's not. She faked her own death.
How do you spell her name?
Mine?
No. Your friends.
Yasmeen.
Thanks.
Ian.
But why would she leave me like this?
She's coming back. We just have to go get her? What was the
Yeah.
plan, Bridget?
I'm not quite sure.
So the plan had been for Yasmin to just peace out, more or less, because she couldn't be seen around here if, she was dead. And
Yeah.
as the mayor's daughter, she's too high profile to be chilling around here. So you would either have to hazard a guess, and we'll just have you do a history check to see where your friend might stop off before she leaves forever, more or less. So one thing that you could do is, one, you could find Yasmin. The other thing you can do, I mean, there's so many things you could do, but if you beef your history roll,
Yeah.
it's not like the session is lost.
Okay. We can do that. So I'm kind of like a newbie to this.
So you're gonna roll a d20.
D20. That's
The big one. Yeah.
And then what do I add to it?
History.
There it is. Okay. So +7. That's good. Oh, that didn't go in there. 20.
Not 20.
Oh wow,
Nice.
you fucking know all.
I know all the things.
Yeah, there was this pond, kind of in the southern central part of town that you would, sit there and feed the ducks, and she would always talk about how, she goes there to think, and if she was going to have a major transition in her life, you think that she would stop there before anything else.
So that's probably is where she is at. So if we wanna go and talk to her, we can do that
Well,
at the pond.
I'm out the door already.
I just said there's a pond and you left the room.
The pond?
Like,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, I think Lucky would know, because you all hung out often enough.
Mhm.
I don't know what the pond means to Lucky, but he knows where it is.
Okay.
So Lucky's out the door. I guess you two follow, and Greg is like, "Oh, where are you going, kids?" And then you door slammed, and Gregory is Ash's butler, more or less.
Oh, okay.
It's about a half-hour walk. It's pretty quiet, and you realize, because you two have been around, is that after sundown there's a curfew where no one's allowed outside. So, without permission. So,
okay.
you're gonna have to pass some stealth checks to not get
Great.
caught by some guards. I'm going to say it's going to be about a half-hour walk. So I'll have you do a stealth check for every 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone roll your first stealth check.
Can I ask a lore question first?
Yeah.
So if you use magic in this world, is it immediately detectable? Like, can other people sense it immediately?
Only if someone, so the Inquisition is so anti-magic they don't even use, detect magic, to find magic.
Okay.
There might be some technology that they're developing to determine it, but you haven't seen it personally yet. If there are there's starting to become some people who are magical but spies that are not a part of the Inquisition, but they're doing it as a plea deal. Oh, we won't kill you. You'll just be in prison for all your life, so long as you help us find other people like you. But there's no if you use magic, alarms go off.
That was what I was asking. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. 'Cause I think I'm gonna use some magic then, if that's possible. 'Cause it says I have Pass Without Trace always prepared as a druid, which would make us all invisible and silent.
Oh, nice. And this is the first time Lucky's being useful, because at this point, no, I'm just
Wow.
no, it kind of is true. Because
I don't know. He got us gold.
True.
Kind of by proxy.
Yeah. Because up until this point, Lucky's only ever used his powers to become a dog or an animal.
What a dumb idiot.
He really is very stupid.
Yeah. But the other thing is he didn't really have any reason to use magic. So
Sure.
Right now, Ash you're like, oh, I've got something, and for the first time, he's being smart.
Okay. Well, I've got something. Well, especially because of what just happened, I feel like I'd be on the up and up of the alert, even as dumb as I am. So I will cast it then.
Okay.
It's just a...
Ash pats you on the back. Good job.
Thanks. It's a concentration up to an hour, so we should be able to get there.
Cool. And is that plus 10 to stealth? Or?
Plus 10 bonus to dexterity checks. Can't be tracked except by magical means.
Oh, okay, yeah, then no rules needed. You dead ass get to the pond. And at the pond you see a figure sitting there. It's at a bench. She's got a hood up, and you guys know her well enough to know that it's Yasmin. But she's sitting there with her, Paco stuff at her feet, staring at the lake for just thinking. Pond,
And we'll break concentration. Actually, no. I'm gonna pretend. I'm not gonna. If he's this dumb, he's gonna forget that he's still casting this spell.
So we're still.
So we're still invisible and silent.
Okay. Cool.
Is there do you cast it on us, or is it
It casts within a radius of 30. It said 30 feet.
Damn.
So
Okay.
So we cannot.
but
step
only
out.
the ones that I choose within 30 feet.
Okay.
But I would have chosen everybody. So
Damn. So what we do?
Let's just sit here for an hour.
Yeah, that's just
in a
wait.
half hour.
all you'd have to do is remind me.
Yeah.
I mean, Ash won't remind you. He'll just keep on walking till they're right up behind Bridget, and then...
Well, she can also not hear us, right? Because we're silent. So I'm telling you to stop the magic.
Oh,
Well, it's actually...
You're smart enough.
Yeah.
Oh, darn, I was gonna sit down next to her and put my arm down, but she still can't hear me as I'm, talking at her.
Let's roll initiative and see who does what first.
Okay.
I'm down. Hot nat 20.
Oh,
Well, I guess that happens.
Well, just see, because your dex is ridiculous.
My dex is
so
ridiculous,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, it's +1.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
And it's also plus 10 right now.
Oh, okay.
Because
God. She screams. That's
fair.
It pierces.
That's fair.
Through the night, and at that point you
Don't.
remind.
Yeah.
And she sees you.
What's her name?
So, why saying if you, since you haven't, I don't know when the last. So I just joined. Hi, I'm Leia. I just joined 3 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and these two are chilling.
Just for the week. I'm
Just
Josh.
for the week, yeah.
Sam.
Unless you're talking about Kelly, who
I've
is
been here forever. I just
true,
wore my hat
but
today.
why saying has come into several of our other shows. I don't know how long they have been like gone from D&DMs. So if the last time, if the last time they were watching, I was DM.
Yeah.
Kelly's the new DM. I am just a
forgot.
player. So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So
Sorry. So she screams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she screams. It echoes. It pierces through the silence of the city.
Great.
And then you lift. You remind him to.
I'm just freaked out, so I break my concentration.
Yeah, that's true. And then she looks wide-eyed at you, and she goes,
Whoops.
and she turns, and she's all three of you, and she goes, "You told them?"
Yeah, I did. Well, we
Why?
did because we figured it was easier that way to move forward, and also he was freaking out, like in tears.
Lucky
Yeah,
was
Lucky
freaking
was
out.
freaking
But
out.
also,
Yeah, but he always freaks out.
Well,
relatively sure that your dad is just gonna side more with the Inquisition now because you
Seem to
decided
be
not to
furious.
ask an actual adult.
She glares at you.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
We need to go
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yep.
Or someone follows the sound of my scream.
Yep.
yeah.
I don't know whose bright idea that was, and she's staring at you accusingly because it was magic.
Oh, true. Yeah.
And
Just so
she
magic, too.
ushers you into just some like alley real quick.
Okay.
And she goes, "How did you learn that one?"
Oh, actually, that was not me. Lucky
was
had
me.
that bright idea and forgot to lift it, that spell at the right time.
It wasn't him. Stop. I know it's easy to blame the dog for stuff. No, I'm kidding.
Does she
She
know-
doesn't know that he's a druid.
Oh.
Um,
Well, that's unfortunate.
and she was using blame the dog as like a figure of
Hmm.
speech.
But he's also.
So Ash is just like, I thought you three were friends.
Yeah.
Best
I
friends.
mean,
Apparently, not so much.
we are, but
Okay.
I mean he's
Oh.
Just
And-
there.
Oh.
and she's
That's
like and
awkward.
she trails off because she doesn't want to be mean, but she also doesn't want to
So
lie.
Ash is just like, ow, my finger, I think I got burned.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow. Well, he has some tricks up his sleeve, I guess. We were all a little surprised, lucky with the spell, but yeah, he did that.
I mean,
I
he's a druid.
Yeah.
what's a druid?
Oh wait, do we have those terms yet in this world?
Yes or no, but
She's
like,
I feel
Aware?
like Ash would know the terms just because of the amount that he has traveled.
yeah, so there could be terms, but I don't think that she experienced it yet because the magic that she's experienced is like books and wizardry type
Gotcha.
things,
Oh,
not
okay.
like the natural.
So
magic.
she asks, I'm going to say, I do magic, but with leaves.
Sounds about right. So why would you think my dad would?
Because he found out it was magical.
Yeah.
There's this whole thing when your kid gets killed by something, you then think that it's bad.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
I mean, I made sure to drink out of my cup and to make him think that it was like a poison.
And you were
drink.
sitting next to a doctor.
Technically, I was sitting next to Lucky. But
Okay. But still.
okay.
There was a doctor at that table.
And she looks because that's your dad, and
Oh,
she's just
okay.
like staring angrily at
Well,
you at that
it
point,
didn't
as if
quite
it's
work
your
out,
fault.
I guess.
So,
Who came up with that idea in the first place?
You.
Oh, damn. Oh, whoopsie.
to be fair, it was the two of us. So
Well.
if that's any consolation.
Well, I mean, 18 years old, not maybe the brightest decision to fake a death. Well, that backfired kind of, or at least we think we're not sure, but he like reacted really like negatively.
Okay.
As one does to one's child.
Well, yeah, which kind of makes
But-
sense now.
Well, Mr.
Your mom
Adult,
did not. She was completely unfazed. In fact, she didn't even care that you died. And she's also a member
Ouch.
of the Inquisition, so
she
you
seems
should just
great.
know all that.
What?
So yeah, she's got the whole robe hidden in the drawer in the closet thing going on.
I found it.
He did.
Well, that's I mean, it's news to me, but it's not surprising, I guess. Yeah.
It also means that she'll use your magical death as manipulation against your dad. To, make sure that the Inquisition more or less kills all the magic people in the city.
So we gotta kill my mom.
Well, that wouldn't stop the Inquisition necessarily, would it?
I mean, this is 18-year-old talking. So.
What a dumb 18-year-old.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't sorry for me. She's joining people who are killing people like me, like her, like him. Like your friend. Meaning Franz, who has a magical lute.
Okay.
Which you would know because Bridget is the one that,
Sussed it out.
yeah, figured out that it was magical loot.
Okay.
Mm.
Magical loot.
Loot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a instrument.
Yeah, not like the double O.
Oh, okay.
So what do we do, Mr. Adult? If my plan was so bad.
Yeah. Well, it didn't quite work out.
I mean, yeah.
We tried something.
We did, yeah.
At least we tried something.
So there's probably going to be an announcement tomorrow. I don't know what my dad is going to say, but it's going to be at the forum.
Well,
if we could just talk, if we could all go to your dad and talk to him in private and tell him that the Inquisition tried to kill you and magic saved you alive, maybe that would, make him like magic or hate the Inquisition.
That's true.
I don't know if that's an idea that an 18-year-old would have.
I mean, I guess teenagers could be smart sometimes. It sounds like a solid plan. And back to character. I mean, my dad will believe anything I say, I guess. So
it's true.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that house is going to be crawling with the Inquisition right now.
True.
And if my mom's part of the Inquisition, how are we going to separate him from her? Because he's probably bawling right
True.
now.
Yeah.
And
What is my alignment? Neutral good?
I don't really have alignment type things.
Okay.
He's just kind of a rich guy that tried slumming it and got his ass beat for it, and he's just the biggest follower in the world, and he doesn't really know what he wants to do. But maybe you could help him, give him purpose in this somehow. You could decide.
I'm trying not to play the chaotic evil type because my first answer was obviously we killed the bitch.
I mean, Yasmin is not against it at this point.
So we have two ideas. What plan are we gonna?
1.5 ideas. We murder her and then we talk to the dad.
True. We can do both.
I mean, yes. I would say talk to dad. One team talks to dad. The other team kills her.
Oh.
At the same time. Because we have to separate them somehow.
But splitting up is never a good idea.
I mean, that's true. I mean, we could just... Your body has now disappeared.
Well, yeah, because my body's here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have your body with you all the time, usually.
Yes. Well, I mean...
Unless you're astral projecting, which happens sometimes.
Exactly.
Fair.
Astral projecting, you know that?
I mean, I have been around.
You have been around.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Do you use magic?
I'm not gonna answer that question.
She just did. And she turns around.
Yeah.
She does the hair flip.
That pause was way too long.
Yeah. I'm just gonna see her insight. You're lucky she rolled a 3. She's too busy trying to figure. She gives the hair flip because she thinks that she gave a witty one-liner, and starts walking out of the alley. And then she sees a couple of guards in the area that you just left, and she whoop, goes right back. She goes, "We're gonna have to stay here for a little while."
Sneaky time.
So we're gonna hide.
So you see, I set it up for the forum without considering that other things might happen instead. So
I told you,
This
there's
is
always diplomacy. I am not gonna walk into that and just be like, you know what we feel like doing today? Fighting 25,000 Inquisition members.
They're not
Oh.
all in that. They were
Let's
supposed to
kill
be
them.
people.
Oh.
Like, just dead ass. These were just people. But anyway, so that's the pond. Like the pond area, and you just see. I think I said 2 guards. I said a couple, so 2 guards. And they're milling about. They're doing their rolls. And do a perception check on them.
Ooh, no, not so much.
D20.
Yeah,
14.
Pretty much always, unless you're attacking somebody, you're just gonna use your D20.
8.
Sometimes you too.
Okay.
I also got a 9.
Okay, so you guys are like high paranoid. They're like, oh my god, they're gonna find us. They're gonna find us. But Lucky's like, nah, man, like they don't see us. And they're milling about, and it takes about 10 minutes before they. And let me just see if they. Oh man, so they do not see you whatsoever. And they're like, all right, I guess we move on to a different area. But that different area is like going right like towards you.
Oh,
more or
cool.
less. So
Do your spelly thing again.
Sure thing.
So as I'm gonna say, they're about 50 feet from you right now. It's still dark. You're like kind of like pressed against the wall or something. So you're
And
not
we're in
like
a dead end right now?
I would imagine it as a dead end, yeah.
Alright. Well.
So. And they're not like coming, like, I guess they're like, oh, let's just check down here. And, you don't know whether or not they're going to scope out the entire alley. But they are coming right for you.
I mean, I can do the sneaky thing again.
We can
Does
do
it-
that.
They
or
can see
kill
us
them.
though, right?
No,
do the sneaky thing.
shadows and silence. So
Sure.
Okay.
That's the easiest. We can also kill them.
No.
Okay.
let's save the murder for later.
Okay. So you cast Pass Without Trace. They look around and like one of them gets like almost like face to face like with you. I imagine like a la Jurassic Park with through the window. But they turn around, leave, leaving you on your own. So now you have about like 55 minutes with Pass Without Trace.
Well, let's sprint to the dad while we're invisible.
We're gonna go talk to Dad.
Or mom. Like, we can either
No,
kill her
Dad.
or talk to...
Let's talk to Dad.
talk to dad.
And who knew you were so bloodthirsty? Jesus.
Just getting in the mood for it.
Oh my god.
No, it's a nice night to kill.
Okay, so
I mean, it is a nice night.
it is a pretty night. So yeah, the 4 of you make your way to the mansion. There's a half hour left. Yasmin is able to get you in like without issue because she knows all of the little secret passageways and stuff like that. There's still
Welcome to the shotgun.
Hello,
What's up?
hello. Thank you for joining us. So she just dead ass walks through. There's food still out. They were not in a cleanup mood after their daughter died. She's and at this point she goes, my parents would probably be sleeping at this time, but I don't know, if they're there or not, and what do we do once we find them, because my dad is probably with my mom. How should we separate them?
Eat all the food.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll just do the Jurassic Park kids thing and just like sit there
Spend
eating the
time
pie.
in the I don't know. I don't know.
We can
Well,
just go see where they are first.
We can combine talking and killing in one.
Let's see where they are first.
Yeah, let's find that out.
Do a perception check.
Nice.
21.
No, 25.
Where's my perception?
Under the
Oh.
P's.
It's 11.
Okay. Bridget's just kind of like poking her way around, like by the grand staircase. But
If she gets too far away, he's gonna yank her back like
Oh, yeah.
30 feet.
Yeah, she's just looking in the wrong direction, more or less. She's not like going, all the way off. But you hear in the dining room where the murder happened. You hear voices, and with your like above 20 rolls, you could distinctively hear 4 different voices, 2 of which being Yasmin's parents, 2 of which being voices you don't recognize.
Okay. Well, I can probably get him out here on his own. Maybe. Y'all okay with
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you?
Maybe you 3 should. Is there anyone out here where the food is?
No.
So if I just appear in the middle of this place, is it gonna be a bad thing?
Yeah, you can tell that no one is looking around right now, but also if Lucky drops a spell, Yasmin's gonna be at all 3
Well,
of
no,
you are
okay.
gonna
So
be.
you all should go to Yasmin's room,
Yeah. Hide. Well, I mean,
and I will stay
are they
here. And I'll
probably
bring
investigating that room? Or
parents' room.
my parents' room?
I don't know. Put a sock on the door that you're in.
Do you have any idea?
You know what? We should probably go down to the basement so we have an easy escape if things go wrong.
Sure. Do that. I'll bring your dad down.
Okay.
I'm intrigued to.
So don't move yet. So he's gonna put on, he's gonna pull out his portable disguise kit. He is gonna put a little bit of shadow on his face and make his face pretty white, so looks like he's pretty haggard.
Okay.
And then he's gonna be like, okay, shoot. Do I need to make a disguise roll?
No, I'm gonna say disguise kit, but the thing is, bear in mind, this guy's a literal private investigator, so you're gonna have to do some good performance.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm alright with that.
For the he's a private investigator, but he retired early due to an injury on the force, so he went from a detective career to a politician.
Gotcha.
So y'all go to the basement with Yasmin. Spell is lifted. You're outside the dining room.
Okay. So
What do you do?
I'm gonna roll a performance check first.
No, you gotta do.
Just do the thing.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
so I'm adding the parents in there and just to.
Cool. Lovely.
Fine.
I'm gonna walk in. I'm literally just going to walk in with a purpose, but a little slumped, as if, I mean.
Okay. Immediately
bad
when
night.
you walk in, the 2 people, and they're Inquisitioners.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
They,
I anticipate it.
Just in case it wasn't clear, they immediately draw their swords because they don't know you. And the mom, goes a little on edge. The dad looks like he's just been crying all night, but he's even though he's depressed as shit, his eyes are focused, he is on
What
a
is
mission.
the mayor's first name?
I did not. You know what? His name is Putnam because that.
Putnam?
Yep.
I can't say the name Putt with a straight face. What are you doing to me? All right.
Double T. Put.
Yeah. So they draw their
yes.
swords. Does he stop them?
He looks and he does do an at ease, but not a put your swords away, but
Right.
let him talk.
What am I supposed to infiltrate?
So Ash is gonna say, oh god, what is Ash gonna say? I should have thought through this better. He's gonna say, Putt, I need to talk to you alone.
Now, what you can say to me, you can say in front of everyone.
I can't.
My daughter was just killed.
I'm aware. This is news you will want to hear.
Do a persuasion check.
Alright, 23.
Fuck. I was making that DC 20. Like, there was...
I
it was
know!
not easy.
I'm aware.
Um,
I have a high persuasion score, so here we go.
That's
he goes... He looks to the two Inquisition people and he goes, wait outside. And they wait outside.
So he looks... Like, as they're leaving, he's gonna look and say, alone.
My wife and I are one.
Radical honesty. There is someone you need to see, and she will only see you without your wife.
Who would... That sounds not good. Like...
Is that in character or out of character? I'm sorry.
The same thing that I said, but more eloquently put in character. Is it Bridget?
Yes, she is there, but she is not the only one.
Okay, who else is there?
I can't tell you. She's asked me not to.
He's not entirely convinced, because bear in mind, like, you're also you.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. I'm aware.
He goes... She kind of does.
I mean, she does, but I also don't want to tip her entirely off to the fact that I know that she's an awful person.
Well, she's standing right there.
Yeah.
I know.
And at
Would
which
be
point,
awkward.
Ruby Putnam, the wife, she just, like, straightens up, and she goes, I think we've had enough with the talking around. If you don't have anything to say right here, right now, I think you should leave, Alabaster.
So he turns to... So, obviously he was looking at her while she was talking. And he'll turn to Putt and say... Stop it! I cannot do this if you keep laughing!
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm so glad you used his name.
If you want to know how your daughter died, you will come with me.
I'm sure there's nothing you can tell me that I won't be able to find out myself. I am quite able.
I'm aware. You will find out eventually, one way or another. But you could know right now.
I could, if you spoke to me instead of speaking cryptically.
Remember, plan and a half.
Yeah.
Kill and talk. Kill and talk.
Kill and talk! Just like...
Just bring her downstairs too. And
Don't worry, I'm like
whack
standing
her.
at the door with the frying pan.
Lucky would use a frying pan. I feel like that is his weapon.
Seriously, I'll be crouched around the door with the frying pan ready to do.
Fine. So... yeah, okay. Ash... I guess Ash will say, fine, your daughter won't see you if your wife is with you.
Shit. Shit. He did an insight check on you.
Yep.
And
That's actually all 100%
like,
true.
No,
First time ever.
I know. That's the thing. So, like, he knows that you're telling the truth.
Yep.
Do an insight check on him.
Alright. Oh, nope. That one.
Man,
But,
that
I
hurts
mean-
me as the DM.
Insight is my best score, so that's still a 12.
Oh my god. Okay, how about this? Ready? He leans back, and he looks at you, and he looks at his wife, and he, like, puts his arm around her, and then turns back to you, and he goes, "We both know my daughter's dead." And then he winks at you, without, like, the wife seeing that.
huh, okay. That's not in character, but
Sorry.
that reaction was not in character.
Imagine. Huh.
And he goes, let me and my wife speak with the guards and investigate this, because it's clear that you are still grieving and still are in denial.
Okay, sorry. I had for my own self, I needed to do a deception check, and it's 22, so I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah, and let's just combat that with the wife's insight, which is a 2. So, yeah, so the wife, she doesn't trust you clearly, but she's not.
So Ash repeatedly tells people that they shouldn't trust him. So if she did, it would be completely against his entire mantra.
Yeah. So yeah, at that point, the what's it called? The husband, he's able to kind of keep everything under wraps. He knows that you know something, and he wants in on it. He doesn't know why you don't trust his wife, but he's pretty much saying, why don't you go home and
take a sleight of hand. No, I don't have any.
What are you trying to sleight of hand?
Nothing. I was gonna slip him a note, but I can't write the note, obviously.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you need to speak with me, I'll be at my house. And
I'll see you in the morning.
I'm gonna walk out the door. I'm assuming the guards walk back in.
Yeah, as soon as you're out, they're back in.
Alright, I'm gonna try and stealth to the basement.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing to stealth, because,
okay, good.
There's no one in this immediate area, and you know the house well enough that you're like, oh, the basement door is, right over there.
Great.
So, Yasmin looks at you and goes, well, how did it go?
We're going back to my place. He knows that you're alive and convinced his wife that you're not, so that was weird. We should go back to my place.
Can you elaborate on that a little?
That's pretty much the entire story.
Oh, okay.
Yasmin turns to Lucky, and she goes, do you got more of that, sneaky stuff? Because we're not supposed to be out.
It might be less than an hour still. We could probably...
But he broke it.
I'm pretty sure I can continuously cast circle spells. It says it doesn't count against them right prepared, so...
But spell slots.
I have 3, so this would be the last time.
We can sleep. It's late enough.
Yeah.
You just go home and go to bed.
Sure, we can do that. But I'm on guard with my bright man. Yeah,
I
could do that.
Okay.
So I'll cast it, but I'm gonna be at the wary with this cast iron pan the entire time.
Always ready.
That'll be like Shillelagh, pretty much, for a druid. Okay. Yeah, so you're able to get back to Ash's place, no problem. 20-minute walk. Do you sleep? Do you do anything before you go to bed, or?
No.
I think that was an exciting day, and we can all use some rest.
Yeah. I'm sure there's still food out, so we do have an entire bag of shrimp unless Franz would have taken it with him.
He would have taken that. Yeah, Franz is like an urchin pretty much, and when he got to the place, he just stole a bag of shrimp.
So is there no food at your house? Is that why this is a problem?
No, there's tons of food at
his
place. I'm sure that Gregory still has some stuff out for late night snacks.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they just have food out all the time because they never know when Ash is going to be actually awake.
Rich, right?
Yeah.
Rich. So
A real 1%.
What kind of food was in the mansion? Because I'm assuming we had to crawl up from the basement out the front door, or
yeah.
Or was there a basement door?
No, you would have basement doored it.
Yeah, because you guys went down there.
Or, I mean, you did have Pass Without Trace, so if you wanted to sneak some snacks.
What kind of food was in this house?
Well, there was a fucking, banquet. There was,
all the food from the actual ball was still out.
Were there canapes?
What is that?
It's like a fancy pastry.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Lucky insists on going out the front door so he can grab Knaps on his way out.
Okay.
Cool.
I dig it. How messy of an eater is Lucky? Do you get
Very.
like pastry stuffs on your shirt?
Sure. Well, he's not. I hate that he's messy either, but that's fine.
What's
He can
hilarious
be
is
messy.
you have Pass Without Trace, but we're also leaving behind a
Crumbs.
trail of crumbs out
That's
the door.
funny.
It says no tracks or no anything, no traces.
Ah.
So even the crumbs are like veiled in shadow.
Shadowy crumbs.
I'm trying to imagine.
Well, but
like-
only in the 30 feet.
Well,
or whatever.
yeah, only in the 30 feet, and then also like in the morning. There's just gonna be like this trail.
I dig it. So yeah. You sleep. Nothing happens. Morning comes. There's a knock on the. Do you sleep in the same room or do you sleep in different rooms? Is it like
I guess
a
you have a huge house, so I won't have to have my own room. I like privacy.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
no.
sure if it was like sleep
He's-
overnight or.
Yeah, no, he's definitely. So I think that there is a like level of decorum he would have with this lady who he has known since she was like. It's really
Oh, yeah.
weird that she has like grown up.
That makes sense.
So yeah, she definitely gets her own room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Lucky's gonna do. Lucky goes wherever he wants. So.
Where does Lucky sleep? Does he get his own room? Does he try and like sleep in someone else's
Does he
room?
change into a dog and sleep on someone's bed?
I was actually thinking about that because his beast form is dog, right?
Well, it's whatever.
Whatever
Several
animal,
things,
but he likes
that's
the
his
dog a
most.
lot.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna change into a dog and sleep on the bed as a dog.
Solid. Who's bed?
Hmm.
Does he have an emerald tooth as a dog too?
He better.
Oh, that's
He does.
amazing.
Because the thing is, I don't think that they have like you've said that like you can use magic and your magic is like leaves, but I don't think that they know that you can turn into a dog,
Bridget doesn't,
and neither
I
does
don't.
Jasmine.
and neither does Yasmin. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh, wasn't?
Sorry,
Were we
like-
not around when you gave him a whooping? For
No, yeah, you guys are new.
So then I would go to Yasmin, probably.
Okay.
I think just because apparently he was crying about that a lot. So.
Okay. She loves that there's a dog. She gives you like belly rub. She
All right.
pets you.
Ooh, that's so wrong.
That
what-
was one of the jokes when Franz, because Franz like immediately trusted you when you came up, and the other two were like, "No, that's too cute." And you started playing with his familiar owl, and like literally, Ash was just like, "No, that's too cute. There's something wrong with his dog," and he was right, and it was hilarious. But anyway, that's
Yep.
so yeah. So that was one of the jokes that he touched your dick because
Yeah, the belly rub.
belly rub.
Yeah.
Is there a specific breed for this dog? Does it matter?
He's like a golden retriever
Okay.
type, but like prize. Like he looks like solid pedigree.
Cool.
He probably looks better as a dog than he does as a human. Somehow. And yeah, so there's a knock on your door.
Okay.
And it's Gregory. And he goes, and it's way too early in the morning. Way too early.
Okay.
Sun just up. I don't think you've ever seen this time of day unless you're about to go to bed.
Okay.
And he goes, the mayor's here to see you.
Right.
Shall I wake the others?
Yes, but tell them to stay in their rooms.
That seems odd, but okay. I'm not here to question you. And he...
he just kind of like like in his head, he's like, "You probably should question me, but we'll go with it today."
I mean, he is your family's, like...
Servant.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah, you two are woken up
Mhm.
very, very politely, but then like, okay, now that you're awake, bye. He just closes the door. And he comes back to you as you're walking down the hall. He goes, do you know where young Master Lucky is?
I'm sure he's around here somewhere. It was a weird night. I'm sure he just crawled up somewhere.
Okay, I'll continue to look for him. And he just goes on.
Okay.
The mayor is sitting in the dining room, looking like he hasn't slept all that great.
Yeah.
And if at all. And he looks to you and goes, "Well, we're alone now."
Can I retcon real fast and say that
How retcon?
I just want to poke my head over here and be like, come down in 5 minutes, and then
Oh yeah. That's
shut the door. Sorry, what was his question?
No, he just said, "Well, we're alone now."
We are alone now. I do appreciate that. They're upstairs getting ready. They'll be down in a minute. But your daughter's not dead. And your wife is Inquisition.
You gave him no time between
Spoiler
the
alert.
two bombs.
Nope! Just
Oh
because
man, let's just see how well
laying
he
it
takes
down.
it. He takes that like a champ.
Radical candor.
Radical candor, yes.
Yeah, he's like, and then you lay the second bomb on him, and he rubs his eyes, and he goes, "Okay, if my daughter's alive, where is she?"
She's upstairs. She'll be down in a second.
Just say the same thing again.
And, well, they said they're upstairs, so, like,
right. Yeah.
it could have been, like, Bridget and Lucky, or
Right.
other, so
Yeah.
it wasn't
True.
Yasmin specifically.
I mean, he did watch his daughter die, so I feel like he's allowed to be like, okay, but actually, like, double check.
Yeah.
Where's my daughter, though?
And he says, "And how do you know my wife is part of the Inquisition?"
Oh, how do we know?
It was something I did, right?
Yep.
This dog told me.
Because you are not someone that I can likely lie to effectively.
No.
I'm just going to tell you the truth. And that is, the Thieves Guild was looking for dirt on you.
Which one?
I actually don't know. And that is true.
Yeah.
He didn't ask, so.
Yep. No,
and well, because you're making it hard for them to operate.
that's my
one.
job.
And 2, because you're essentially ghettoing a whole bunch of people and killing them by aligning yourself with the Inquisition.
It's a tough pill for him to swallow, but he swallows it.
And there's more than one thief that has access to whatever this magic shit is. So they're not too happy about, being murdered around the world right now. So they found your wife's robes and a list of orders.
Where are these?
Well, they've been taken back. Well, the robes are still in your house. The orders, I believe, have been taken somewhere.
Yeah, I think Franz took them to the...
Yeah, Franz has them, so...
But I think you wrote down, like, the badge number and stuff like that. So
Right.
if you wanted to share that with him, you could choose whether or not.
Sure. We're gonna just assume that I can trust the mayor. This is gonna be
No, I'm just saying
interesting.
it's up to you whether
No,
or not,
yeah. I mean, he is just trusting him now at this point.
Mhm.
So he's gonna take a crumpled piece of paper out of one of his pockets and hand it over. That's the information that
Mm-hmm.
I have on your wife.
Okay.
Well, I guess we can bounce.
Yeah, whenever
Yeah.
you guys want to
Well,
enter.
When Yasmin opens the door, I'm gonna have snuck around the corner
Uh-huh.
so I can change out of dog form, like around the corner essentially.
Okay. That happens. And you all go downstairs, and as soon as Yasmin, like, enters the room, her dad just rushes over and gives her, like, a bone-crushing hug. Like, he goes straight from, like, PI,
Yeah.
like, stone face to, who else is anime trash and watches Full Metal Alchemist? Because it's more or less like Mayhew's, pretty much, when he's with his daughter. Big ol' hug, and she's kind of embarrassed. Let's see how embarrassed she is. She's 8 out of 20 embarrassed. So just mildly so. But she pushes her dad away. She's like, okay, we have business, Dad. And he's a little taken aback that his daughter, like, kind of, because usually she just plays the part, but she's kind of had enough of what's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, you know I'm alive, but I don't think that I should stay alive here. I think that we should still follow the plan because you aligned with the Inquisition to protect me. And so long as you feel like you have to protect me, I can't be here. And
Breakfast cookie, anybody?
she's pretty fucking
Take
convincing.
like a half a cookie.
I'm good. I have too much talking right now. I'm pretty much playing with myself as one character to the other. And she does like convince her dad that like she probably should not stay here. And he looks to you because like you're her best friend. And this is so you Sam are allowed to tell what the plan was. So I'm letting you decide. It's not like me trying to like be like, oh yeah, know this stuff. But he turns to you and goes, what was the plan?
I think I should like tell him like
I would
just point blank everything, right? So I do that.
Okay.
It's apparently being radically honest, but
Yeah.
just make her.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's easier if we want him to help us to
Yeah.
like
A little bit metagamey when it comes to like the DM was like Kelly was like, this guy is a PI and has a stellar insight check, and I was like, hey, noted.
Yeah.
I mean,
Franz
I
didn't
have
give
a
a
very
shit.
high deception check, but still,
I
No lies.
no
no
lies.
lies.
Mhm.
We do not support lying. But trying to fake a death, whatever. That's not
Fake
lying.
death. She goes somewhere in like Valencia or something like that, which is the city-state. To actually, no, I think she would have gone south actually to the southern city-state, which is very unexplored in general. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, like magic users can probably explore here in peace because it's so.
It's not as regulated
Yeah.
and stuff. Gotcha.
And he goes, well, we're going to figure out where you're going. We're going to figure out how to get you there safe. I'm not going to stop you.
Does Ash know anything about the people they were going to hire to get the Dragonborn out?
You probably would know like of it. Like you would know where to find coyotes. So.
Okay.
Dragonborn.
Oh yeah. Do you want to tell him about that?
Oh,
Oh, you were kind of.
I came into the tail end of that, but
Uh-huh.
essentially there was
Sorry.
some Dragonborn honey. Essentially, I always support puns. There were some Dragonborn who were enslaved, and it was a part of, like, the original plot to come to the city to get coyotes to, like, get them out of, like, out of the city-state so that they could thrive elsewhere. Because magical creatures are, like, shunned around these parts, I imagine.
Yeah, like so. If you willfully practice magic, you're just killed. If you are magical but at no fault of your own, quote unquote, like magical, like Tabaxi, Dragonborn, and some other things that I'm forgetting. Like you're kind of a second-class citizen, but you're not outright persecuted like someone who's a wizard or a warlock or something like that. But if you're a Dragonborn that starts shooting spells, then you're gonna get killed. So he goes, we'll find you safe passage. I'm going to make sure you get there safe. Did you want to bring up the Dragonborn at all to him, or?
Wasn't part of this plan to try to convince him that magic isn't that bad anyway?
Yeah.
I mean-
We wanted him to kind of turn on the Inquisition, but only to get her like out safely.
Right.
Right.
I couldn't remember if we were gonna pin her death on her mom.
I think that was the plan.
That was the plan initially, but that doesn't mean we have to go with it.
I feel like I would be the
Because
dumb one to
we
be...
told him that we faked.
Mm.
I just told him that.
So, how much... Because I was crying about her death, right?
Yeah.
So, and I knew that it was magic. And you all just told me the plan was to fake her death in the first place. Huh. Well, because now he knows she's alive, so no one could have killed her.
Yeah. Well, she's going that far to try to, like...
I feel like
fake
I
her
would be
own death
very upset
because-
that I cried more tears than her mom, though. And I would probably be bringing this up in some form or fashion.
Oh.
So I think I'm going to do that. How do you feel about the fact that your wife has no emotion?
Um,
And cried
I-
less than I did?
well, I appreciate you.
That's a perfect way to put it.
I appreciate you. Who the fuck are you?
Oh no, like he knows who you are, but once again, you're kind of like fuckboy light compared to
Sure.
Ash. And he goes, well, I can't say I can excuse my wife, but I understand why she's trying to protect the what she has. I admittedly may not have given her as much attention ever since Yasmin was born, and maybe she resented our daughter for that. Maybe she doesn't want to go back to... And he trails off a bit and looks to the three of you, and, you guys have been very honest with him, so he's going to share similarly to you, and he goes, well, my wife was not of noble upbringing. And no one else knows this, so please don't share this. But I mean, after I met her, she's lived a very comfortable life, and if she knew that our daughter was magical and threatened that, I could understand why she would do everything she could to keep things the way they are. And he looks to his daughter, who's like seething at this point.
Yeah.
Because he's caught between a rock and at a hard place, and then an even harder place with the Inquisition as a tertiary factor. He goes, I think it's time that I make all of this right.
Yeah. About time.
Okay.
I mean, it forced his daughter into faking her own death. He should think about that, right? I tell him that, like, straight up.
Uh-huh. And
his daughter's my best friend, right? So
Yeah.
kind of protective of her, too.
yeah, I'm getting ganged up by children. Haven't had this happen since the young days and at the academy. So, well, I was going to announce that my daughter died, at this forum and he checks his non-existent watch because they don't exist in 2 hours. I think I'm going to continue, not the pretense, the ruse that she is dead for our protection, for your protection, and he looks at Yasmin. But I think it's time I set the record straight about what I do and do not tolerate around here. And I don't think that I've been forthcoming with that. Forthright? I don't know. Forth something.
Your wife does seem to be a true believer. So.
Well, what will happen will happen.
What kind of answer is that? Well, whatever. I mean, we can't really ask him to kill his wife, right?
No, you cannot. Is that in character?
No, that's not in character. Maybe I mumble that under my breath to, like, Lucky or Yasmin. But not to his face. I'm just very upset that he's, like, seeing his wife's, like, point of view so much. It's, like, so wrong.
I mean, it is so wrong.
You should come to the forum, and because you are the four. I mean, you can't go. I'm sorry, Yasmin, but you all helped bring this change, and I want you to see the fruits of your effort.
This is not
That's a
That's a trap.
That's a trap.
You
Yeah.
know that's
This
a trap.
feels like a trap.
Sorry, that was.
I know. This is a trap.
Can you incite him? Because
Yes.
I don't know.
No.
Also no.
I mean 16.
8. What's
Six.
with the 8?
Wow.
Inside.
I mean,
16's not
like,
bad.
11.
sorry, like, me as a DM, I don't know how weird. So, pretty much, I was trying to say, like, maybe me as the DM, like, just made it come off sketchy as shit. But he just genuinely wants you to see, like, you know, you worked hard, you did something, you saved my relationship with my daughter, and I want you to see
Fives all around.
that you're not the only one who has to take these risks, and I want
Oh.
you to. So, that wasn't him being sketchy.
Shady.
That
Okay.
was the DM just being awful at communicating.
I mean, anytime that someone
Come
who
see the
has
fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm gonna pass. Don't we have a foreign country to get to? I believe that's where I'm going.
I
actually,
like living too much.
Sorry, the 4 of you actually can't leave the city for the next 6 days.
we still can't leave the city for the next 6 days
Why?
because we are part of a murder investigation.
Oh, he says that to us?
Oh no, that was
That
from
was
last
out-
time.
So
Oh.
from last time, we were told
Well,
we cannot leave the city for the next
we can
6
just
days
sneak out.
because, I mean, we can leave the city
Yeah,
in the next
but-
6 days. We just have to face the consequences of probably never coming back here.
Yeah. Perfect time to look for the Dragonborn thing.
Well, I'll be in the city, but I might not be at your forum.
I think we can like
Visit?
visit. Yeah, just swing by for a hot second.
I wrote 250 words about this forum. Y'all better go there.
You know, Kelly, when you write a grant, it's not guaranteed you're going to get the money.
I mean, I'm a thinker. I can figure stuff out.
I don't know. Since I messed up your entire, like, dice map bits.
I came in early to set this up.
I know, we did. She came to pick me up early so that she could set up that map. And then I was like, but what if we just sneak in and talk to Dad?
Fine, we can go to this stupid forum.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
So if you started expressing your like disinterest or not wanting to go, Ash would be like, if I have to put a leash on you.
I'll be there in some form.
At some point, Yasmin goes to you and she goes, I didn't know you had a dog.
Yeah, he wanders around here sometimes.
Cute.
Do I know that he's a
No.
dog?
Nope.
You don't.
And I think she's gonna chill out by you because I'll just like metagame and say that like she's gonna hang out at your place
Yeah. That's fine.
until her dad's able to like arrange whatever has to be arranged, and then she'll be out of the city.
'Cause it's safe there.
And I imagine you tell Gregory to hush hush, and he's trustworthy enough to not, because he did wake Yasmin up.
Oh,
Yeah.
We could just kill him.
You
I mean,
bloodthirsty, oh my god.
If he tells Answith.
That's a story for another day. So, do you want to do anything in the 2 hours before the forum?
I'm gonna find the nicest looking pan in the kitchen of this house and hand it to Yasmin and say, to keep you safe.
How does Ash? Do you let him take it? It's technically your
Yeah.
pan.
Do you care about your pet?
And like she
Nope.
she holds this pan up and she goes, "This feels like mildly sexist."
I mean, he has one too.
That's true.
Not that it's still not sexist, I suppose.
No, I was just thinking of like Tangled with the.
With the pen, yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't quite know. She's like, you know, I have spells that can fuck this 7 different ways.
Pans are always useful.
Fair enough. I'll be in my room.
What a nice gesture.
Oh, your room. I see, he says as he's like piling cheese onto a plate. But not in any seriousness.
And what's your dog's name?
He like actually stops for a second, takes a bite of cheese, chews on that bite of cheese. What should the dog's name be? I don't know.
Lucky, but with an E and with an I.
I don't know. I think Gregory called him Rover.
Okay.
Not really sure.
As she's walking up, she's like whistling, like, "Come here, Rover." We're trying to like, as she's going.
He wanders in and out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I would do.
We
I
can
mean, it's
just
only
skip
2
to-
hours, right? So might as well just chill. Say goodbye to my best friend,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. You could
And
probably write, but not for a while.
Yeah.
I would be looking out a window because I'm trying to find a bird to change into for this form.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna go as a bird.
Just because you're a low-level druid, you can't fly.
So you're just gonna like perch on my shoulder and just chill?
I'm just...
I love it.
You're a bird.
I like it.
just wanted you-
That's funny.
Because I don't think you get fly until, like...
Does he know that though? Because that's
I think
like,
he
does
would-
Lucky know that?
I think Lucky would have figured that out at some point.
Oh, he's gonna change into a bird and just oh fuck.
Just try to fly.
He does, like, that half-hop.
Going
Wings
out the door,
flap.
the little wing flapping, and I'll just stare up at you.
Yeah, and he's got... because he doesn't have, like, teeth as a bird, he's got, like, a little, like, emerald stripe up his beak.
Oh, that's
I dig it. So who wants to be D20, D12, and D6?
I don't really care.
Don't care.
cute. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like this is still a trap.
Yep.
I'm gonna be D6.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if I should even be a bird right now or just be me.
I mean, you could bonus action on wild shape, so.
Okay.
You can
But,
just
I mean,
change
people
that.
might see you.
But then people would know.
What they
Okay,
know?
you'll be D12.
I have a really big coat. Look, I
Okay.
can just pop out.
Surprise
You do.
human.
Wait, how is that better?
That would
It's
look
a
like that
magical
too.
item and not a magical person.
But you're using the item
I mean, I
on
am.
purpose.
Yeah.
I feel like magic would start to get involved anyways if we're gonna have to fight people.
Let's just burn the whole ground.
Just burn it
Scorched
down.
earth.
Just to burn it down.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining that you don't want to stay that far away from So let me describe the form to you. Big ass exit. Like, it's like an arch. Think of, like, into, like, the little historic third world arch, but, like, bigger. Then shitload of people. Over there, there's a platform, and it's about 30 feet in the air. The two green things are, like, banners. That are hanging down from the top, and it's got the symbol of the city on it. On either side, there are wooden stairs that go up onto the platform, and they're not like out in the open stairs. They're like there's like a wall on it, and each of those stairs are guarded by a guard, but it's like a city guard, not Inquisition guard. But two Inquisition guards are stationed across the forum.
So the red ones are Inquisition guards.
Yep. Red is Inquisition. Yellow by the stairs are... I'll just take out the yellow one just to make it... Yellow are normal guards, and purple up top are the two... what's it called? Mr. and Mrs. Putnam. Putt and Ruby Putnam. I've also come up with a King Kingsley. Putnam. I love shit like that. And then the twins, Mirka and Birka, which you weren't around for, but pretty much like I had like a list of like 10 NPCs that they could interact with, and of course like Corey chose the one that like literally the only one that didn't have like a quest to give.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, oh yeah, like I'm out here looking for my brother, and he's like, oh, what's your brother's name? I'm like, motherfucker, like I don't know. But yeah, so that's where you're at. And do you want to position yourselves any other way? I threw you onto the board, but I wasn't sure if you want.
What's the wooden box? This?
Oh, that's when you roll bad.
Oh, okay.
You can put the
It's
dice in
dice
prison.
prison.
So if you constantly get low rolls, you could put it in prison and make it think about what it's done.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
It's game dice rituals.
Who's what? You're the D.
Bridget's D6, Lucky's D12, Ash's D20.
Yeah.
So D12 should be on the D20, but technically, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if you were bird form or not. Describe your bird.
What kind of bird are you?
What kind of climate is this? Like,
It's kind of temperate. Like, you get all 4 seasons.
probably just I don't know, because it seems like he's kind of into like looking pretty, especially with that dog.
He is.
Mm.
He would want to be either a robin or a blue jay.
Nice.
So if either of those had flown by the window, he'd be one of the two.
Okay, I'm gonna say blue jay because I think they're prettier.
Blue jay it is.
All right. So everyone's milling about. These are all just general public people chilling. Oh, I
If
left
he is a blue jay, I'm also gonna find a blue outfit to wear to match. the
Look
blue
at
jay.
you being all fancy.
He's very fancy. Well, right now he has to act like his actual self because everyone knows him.
True. And I think you would have a good blue wardrobe because Franz wore your blue before, so now you have like.
Matches the blue of the dice too.
Mhm.
I'm not in blue. I've been wearing the same
I'm
thing
brown.
for the last 3 days because I didn't go home.
Yeah, that's true. Your parents are like, "Where the fuck is she?"
Had to shower.
Oh no, it's only
Had
been
to change my
a.
clothes.
It's only been a day.
My hair is oily.
It's only been a day, and you went home with Ash. You went
Yeah.
home with Alabaster Crane.
That was.
Oh, holy.
Yep. Okay.
Ugh.
So everyone's milling about until like little trumpets sound off. And then the mayor, he goes up to the front and he's speaking by like a ye old megaphone, you know, pretty much.
The old megaphone.
Just,
I feel like he would have a booming voice just by himself. if
he
really
does,
wanted
but
to.
it's a big area and the acoustics aren't that great. So he goes, citizens of Taizhou City, I speak with you today with a heavy heart, but before I divulge in the thoughts that weigh on my conscience, I must issue an apology. You elected me because you trusted me, because you believed I would make this city thrive again. In some ways I have lived up to that, and in many ways I have failed you. Do you do anything? What are you thinking? I'm giving, like, in between each, like, paragraph, I'm letting you...
I want to insight check the Inquisition guards.
Okay.
Yeah.
25.
So these two are looking across the crowd, just kind of looking for any riffraff. I don't think that you would really get to see too well, but they see these two because they're behind you. But you kind of like look over and they're looking towards the crowd. These two are looking more intently, like in this circle. So I'm gonna say like in this over here.
Mm-hmm.
Their focus seems to be there.
And where's the wife at?
They're both husband and wife. Wife is D6, husband is D12.
Okay, I'll do an insight check on her.
I'm gonna say after the next paragraph.
Good.
But what do you two do?
I want to
Should we
search
get,
the crowd for anything suspicious.
Okay.
He does have like he's now like 6'3", so
With advantage. Why not?
19. What would this be? Insight or?
Investigation
Okay.
or perception first to see if you perceive anything.
So 22.
Okay. Most of the people look to be average. But with your 22, I'm going to say this one right here. He looks pretty beefy. Like he's like very. He's wearing like full plate armor, pretty much, which is weird. Because he doesn't look like a city guard. But he also doesn't seem like threatening. It's just weird for him to be wearing that as someone who's like in a forum, which is supposed to be like safe.
are there weapons allowed in the city?
Weapons are allowed in the city, yes.
Great, then I am definitely wearing them, just so we're all
Yup.
before we get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like you document what weapons you have,
Oh, God, that was a long process, but okay.
but no, like you probably document it, but like they don't take them from you.
Yeah, I'm imagining at the front gate, like, please take out all your weapons, and he just like starts Like,
Yeah.
Piling on pile.
Yeah, and like you, like they would say, like if you buy anything, please provide receipts because it's more. They're doing it more for trade than for,
Taxes.
yeah, that's what it would be. And then
I just imagine Bridget say that. It's just a tax thing, really.
yeah, so this guy looks a little weird because he's got like full plate. This one over here looks shady as shit. Just
shady.
Just shady as shit. Like he looks like he belongs in a thieves guild.
Can I investigate him or something? Like,
Well, you wouldn't be
Would
able
that
to
be-
because unless you
I'll also
perceive
do
that.
a perception check.
So you could do if you could do a perception check first.
that's okay.
Was that all I noticed in the crowd?
Oh,
Those two?
sorry.
Yeah, I mean you notice a lot about everyone, but like nothing noteworthy.
Those two are the ones that are noteworthy.
Yeah. What did
Just a 10.
you- okay.
Well, add your perception to it.
That's 0.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she's
I
very
already edited.
she's very intelligent but not very wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a forum. Everyone's here. Life is good. Did you want to investigate?
Yes.
Now that you perceive.
Now that I have perceived, I will investigate. I believe it's only 13.
Okay. You're like studying him. You don't see any like most thieves guilds have some sort of like insignia or thieves can't. It's like saying like what guild they're a part of. You don't see anything on him. Next paragraph. I surrendered some of my power to the Inquisition under the pretense of making the city safe and guarded from threats both magical and non-magical. However, there was a secret to this alliance that I did not disclose to those closest to me, not even my wife. My daughter was, a magic user, and by forming this alliance, I thought I would protect her. I thought that if I allied with the Inquisition, it would protect her from their grasp, and she would also stop willfully practicing such a dangerous craft. What do you do?
I leave it.
I really.
This ain't no trap my ass. I'm gonna flip flap my way on out of here.
You're gonna try. You're gonna
Pop flip flap
and he's gonna like, you're fucking up my hair.
Lucky's just
Like he will literally like take his hand, firmly but gently, take him down and put him on his shoulder and keep laughing like that. However, I really need to know both wife and guard. Like, does she look like she's gonna kill him? That's the question.
do an insight check on the mom or
26.
So her focus is also on this area over here, and you could tell that like she's here to see something but not her husband give a speech.
Listen, she's about to go.
How hard would it be to get through the crowd right now?
I'm considering it difficult terrain. So, if you wanted to move during this quote unquote paragraph, I'm gonna say it's gonna be 12 seconds. So,
So 2 turns?
yeah. So, but you would have half movement.
I can't run because if I run, the guards will stop me. Alright. In that case, I will move forward 30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to sneak. If we want.
10,
Like, let's
15,
do this.
20.
No, I just can't dash. So if I dash, I can do double movement, but if I'm running...
Do you
the
hop
guards-
off Ash's shoulder
I'm
during
not
this?
hopping anywhere, no. Like, this seems like a safe perch for me for now.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Seems fine.
So that's your action and movement. What do you do during this?
I'm also not happy with the wife. Not because I am suspicious of her, but because she didn't cry any damn tears. So I'm going to be paying careful attention to what her reaction is to this.
Okay.
So I guess I would investigate, or is that a perception check?
You already know she's there, so you could do an investigation check because you know her like intent more or less. What?
13.
Investigation. I don't think that you would get too much with a 13 from this distance. What are you looking for exactly?
Like her reaction to the
Oh.
fact that her daughter is a magic user.
Oh, okay. Sorry. She is just stone-faced, and she doesn't seem worried about him admitting this.
They about to kill him.
Yeah, that's why I'm moving forward.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening. There's gonna be a magic user that kills him.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna
Can I
happen.
don't
That's
remember
the shady
beast
guy.
shape very well. Can I communicate while in beast form? No.
Well, cheer.
I'm gonna
cheer,
do a
cheer.
little peck on the head and then like a wink over to the big beefy guy.
Because you did perceive that. So, do an insight check on Lucky.
That's cocked. 26.
Okay, you can tell that he's pointing in like this direction, at the weird guy. So in your next one, you could roll an investigation with advantage, but that's at the next paragraph. What are you doing? You see Ash move forward.
I think I follow because I do I notice that they're like in a weird way communicating with each other.
Do a perception check.
Okay. Can you keep that to yourself?
Oh my god.
A 4.
No, there you just see Lucky flapping his wings, but
But I don't understand that they're like having a communication, like
Because you don't know
sort
it's
of
me either.
conversation. Oh no, that's true. I just wonder what kind of bird that is. Like, why does he have a bird now?
yeah, and it would make sense that Lucky doesn't join because like you kind of feel like he's just inept and like if all he can do is pass without trace, like do we really need him?
So I'm basically not noticing nothing. Like,
But you do
don't
see
get-
them move, so you can
Yeah.
choose to move if you want, or you could stay there. I'm not telling you what to do.
No. Well, I think I'm gonna follow. I'm just gonna follow him.
Okay.
Can I see that when you're done?
5,
Mhm.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Excuse me. And he continues, sorry. This decision to protect my own child, what?
I know something that I probably should have done, actually. So, because I have message as a cantrip,
Mm-hmm.
so it says I have to point a finger. Could I point, like, a talon?
Yeah.
A little claw?
Yeah. You can do this, but you've already done like your move in action for this
Yeah.
one, so you could ready this for the second.
That's what I'm asking is for the next round.
Yeah, definitely.
Is he
Got a little
actually
timer ready.
right up on the edge of the stage?
Yeah, he is like. I mean, it's not uncommon for him to be just like right up there talking, because it's like it's not. Sorry, I didn't draw it, but like there's like a fence type thing, and he's talking at like a pedestal podium thing. So, but he is right up at the edge, addressing everyone. It's not like you could push him and he's gonna fall over. There is something to protect him from just dead ass falling forward.
What is protecting them from falling forward? That's important for my spell.
Like a fence type thing.
Is it made of
A
wood?
railing, yeah.
Okay, very good.
Excellent.
This decision to protect my own child compromised not only the safety of many of our citizens, but my integrity as your leader, and for that I deeply apologize. He pauses and gives a heavy sigh. Magic killed my daughter, not because I didn't protect her from it, but because of how I responded to its danger, its intricacies, and what it meant to her and many people of our city. What do you do?
I'm waiting.
Lift the finger with that guy.
Waiting for you to do something first, I think. I don't know. Because I can send a message to someone, but I think I would probably... I see that she's stone-faced, but I'm not smart enough to know that she's probably about to murder somebody. I don't think that's something that I would... But I could send you a message just because I'm sitting here.
What's the message?
I feel like you're gonna get it without my help. I don't think she's gonna get it without my help. So I am gonna do my little swoop around and point my talon at her, so I can send the message of careful. two unsavory characters in the crowd. One directly behind you, the other in the direction Ash is about to head.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that blue guy.
Mm-hmm.
Can I receive that message, like in my thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear like Lucky's voice out of nowhere. As soon as his bird just turns around and just.
Not confusing or creepy at all.
Just imagine the bird talent.
Like, you know that. Oh wait. Ash, tell me what you do while I pull up this thing because.
It's perfect.
Oh, I wish Jack could see that. That is phenomenal. Oh man.
I'll post it on D&DMs, but
Please
it's the perfect.
do. That is lovely.
That is so funny.
Oh man.
Sorry. I'm gonna put it on the Facebook thing now. But yes, what does Ash do? Because he did point out something going on over here.
And the podium actually has like a microphone on it.
It's like a rudimentary type of like megaphone, like pretty much like a cardboard thing that you shout into, and it amplifies your voice just slightly.
It's not movable.
No,
Right.
it is like it's adjustable.
Yeah, but is it move? Like, can you pick it up?
Probably.
Are you?
Are you trying to like mage hand this? You're not in range.
I am in range for silent image
Oh. Okay.
to make him both invisible, like to make it so that it seems as if he has taken 5-foot step over. If anyone's trying to do a ranged attack, he is trying to make it seem as if
Yeah.
the mayor has
Moved.
moved.
Oh.
Can you
That's
do that when there's actually like a physical person there?
Nothing saying I can't. That
Can
would be
you
a
read,
DM call.
I'm curious. Can you read this spell? thing?
Yes. Bloop, bloop, bloop. You create the image of an object, a creature, or some other visible phenomenon that is no larger than 15-foot cube. The image appears at a spot within range and lasts for the duration. The image is purely visual. It isn't accompanied by sound, spell, or other sensory effects, because the mayor wouldn't know what's happening to
Yeah.
him. He would just keep talking,
Yeah.
etc. You can use your actions to cause the image to move to any spot within range. As the image changes location, you can appear to alter its appearance so that its movements appear natural for the image. For example, if you create an image of a creature and move it, you can alter the image so that it appears to be walking.
Mhm.
Physical interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion because things can pass through it. A creature that uses its action to examine the image can determine that it is an illusion with successful intelligence investigation check against your spell DC, which is 16.
Yep.
If creature discerns the illusion for what it is, the creature can see through the image.
Yep. No, that's fine, because I thought so long as it was bigger than a 5-foot cube.
Yeah. So that one is minor illusion,
Yeah.
which is a spell step down
Yeah.
from silent image.
No, that one definitely. And I just want you to do like a deception check just to make sure that you're able to match up his talking.
Sure.
Because if you do a good enough deception check, they're not going to incite it.
Okay. Well, that is a 16.
That'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I like it.
My lips are just a little off. Like third word is like a little.
Do a sleight of... Is it a VSM? What's the components?
So, because I have my instrument on me, I don't need any of that stuff because it's my spell focus.
Okay. Sounds good. That would... No, but...
But yes, it is a bit of fleece and... it has both hand movements and verbal if you don't have
Sounds
focus.
good. All right.
Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
You messaged...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what
That
do
was
you
his
do?
turn.
I freak out because I heard voices in my head. No, I.
After a bird weirdly looked at you.
Yeah. Like, losing my mind.
Several other people in the crowd are like, what the fuck? Like,
Weird
what are you doing, girl? But a bird is like watching you.
And freaking you out. Why is this bird freaking you out? Well, I mean, I'm very smart, so I think I understand that.
I mean,
It's
Bridget knows
also-
that magic exists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is his voice, so
Yeah.
I may be like disturbed for a second, but then I understand what's going on at least.
It's more of like,
Yeah. and then, okay, so the guy is right next to me, right? Like right slightly behind me, that one beefy guy. And you said he
Yeah, so there's a beefy guy
Yeah.
right behind you.
and he seems to
shady
be
guy over
nice, right? Or not.
Beefy guy just wearing
hostile.
plate armor.
here.
Beefy guy is just ready for a fight.
Yeah.
Yes, so I want him to like become an ally, so he can kill stuff for me.
So what do you do?
So excited to see what happens.
Well, my persuasion is +5.
Persuade a stranger in the crowd.
Hey, you want
Hey.
to kill someone?
I need a personal bodyguard.
Some shit's about to go down.
I'm a fragile 18-year-old woman. I need a strong, buff man. I don't know.
How much plus do you get for playing into like toxic masculinity?
Yeah. That's a -70.
Roll with advantage.
What is the advantage?
So you roll 2d20.
Oh, okay.
Or you roll a d20 twice.
That's an 18
Plus your 5, right?
plus my 5. That's a 23, and then that's a 17. So that's a 22.
Okay. So.
So 45.
No.
No. Yes,
And he's
it's
my-
a 45. I think we should
And
just
he-
go with that
like-
canon. 45.
Just believes everything I say. Forever.
You have a new thrall.
You don't
He's my
only
puppet.
convince him, you also convince the 3 other men to stand behind him. Like,
Like my charisma is
He looks to you, and he's tall. He looks to be in his like mid-20s.
Oh, hello.
He's got a dark sandy like golden hair, and he looks to you and goes, "What's going on?" Sounds like Prince Charming.
Yeah, sounds like
fragile
it.
woman.
Woman.
A dragon is coming to kill me.
Imagine. Jesus.
I feel like we need to play it up here.
Yeah, no.
That guy over there's my ex-boyfriend.
And
He's not
threatening
supposed to
me.
be here.
Yeah.
The Inquisition's doing nothing.
He's here to hurt me.
He's not following the restraining order. Yeah, basically, no, I tell him that that shady guy is making me very nervous, and I think that there's more going on, and I will need his help to make sure nothing bad happens.
You're not gonna play the ex-boyfriend card? That always gets them to say yes. That's my ex-boyfriend, Rod.
Rod.
He's up to no good.
He rolled a 5 on his insight. So he believes you.
Well, I mean, you're not lying.
I'm not lying.
He starts going.
Are you like following behind him?
Yes,
Like,
like hiding out behind his back, like just peeking through his, like.
Just excited to see what happens once you get to Rod.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say he moves there.
it's Kelly. This is canon that guy's name is Rod.
I already named him.
That's too bad. He has a new name.
Now it's Rod.
You know what? You played along with the forum. I'll play along with Rod.
You did make us come here.
I did. I did too much setup and too much writing. It's 382 words.
Oh wow.
We haven't even made it to paragraph 3.
It's okay, it's the last one.
Yeah, and I follow, right? So
yeah.
follow him. Oh, I think, yeah, that's me.
I'm gonna say you're gonna get stuck, like,
Oh,
between
no.
this. You can see him, he's right
Okay.
there. So.
You can make a 5-foot step to swoon if you really need to.
Yeah.
And then the mayor continues. A long ass 6 seconds.
Can you imagine
Therefore,
a bastard saying that to you?
After I received your message, I'm like turning around, like super quick telling the guy to move, and then he runs without running over there.
Well, I mean, it has been established that Bridget is good at getting men to like come to her aid.
Oh, see?
you're not wrong. Therefore, as of today, I announce that I am cutting my ties with, and then before he before he's able to finish his sentence, a flaming arrow goes hurtling through the air, right through the image of the mayor, and embeds itself in like the wall.
So that means that the image dissipates and everyone can
Yes.
see him now,
Yup.
still at the podium.
So I'm going to
I
say
should have moved up. Why didn't I move up?
you did.
No, I should have
Oh,
moved
not
up
the second
more.
time. So here's flaming arrow.
Okay.
It went from here to
Shocker.
here.
Rod up to no good.
Yep.
See?
Let's roll initiative.
All right. Rolling on the initiatives
We're
today.
at 20.
Nice.
8.
What's your dex?
My dex?
Mm-hmm.
Why is this always so hard for me? +3.
+3?
Minus +1, so I have 9.
Okay, 1 second. So Lucky is at 23. What'd you get?
26.
Just not good with the
26,
dice.
you're
No,
9.
I just have been rolling really well on initiative today. And also I have an insane... I built this
Bear with me
character
1 second.
around insight.
Mm.
Great. All right. First up is Ash. Who's now? I put Rod in the initiative, just so you know.
How tall is the stage?
30 feet. And that's including the extra, like, fence thing.
That's high.
And I'm
Oh, shit, I
assuming the
forgot.
stairs are guarded, right?
Yeah,
Yep, by
there's
the
a city
two.
guard though, not a Inquisition bad
Mhm.
guy.
Alright. I'm gonna dash forward.
And remember, it's difficult terrain for any square with people in it.
Mm-hmm. So there's only one set. Are there 2 sets of stairs?
There's one on either side.
I wanna so I wanna dash forward, but I wanna wait to see which way the mayor is going.
You could delay your turn if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm delaying it with the assumption that I will move where the mayor moves.
Okay. Next up is Lucky.
I think it's time for me to stop being a bird. If this is happening. You have a giant coat, right?
I do. Yeah. What are you gonna do to tell me that you are you just gonna like jump down my shirt. Like,
I mean,
what's
bear
happening?
in mind, like the crowd is erupting right now. So like, if you were
So
to
people are
like,
pretty distracted.
yeah,
I think I'll just hop down to the ground and change back into a person.
yeah, like I will say, like you, like you're fine.
Okay.
So you use that's your bonus action.
Do I get a blue streak in my hair?
No.
That's sad. Ooh, tough to feathers. I forgot that was a bonus action, so I actually have to think about what I'm gonna do.
You could delay the rest of your turn if you.
No, I feel like I need to do something. Could do another message, which is a cantrip.
Mm.
Or prestidigitation. Just a fancy trick, I think, right? Isn't that what that is?
You create a small sensory effect.
Of some sort.
Yeah.
What you want to do? Tell the mayor to
Run.
Fly, you fools.
yeah.
Yes.
How many feet am I away from him? I can't really.
It's about like 30-ish.
Oh.
Well, 30 to the podium.
And then 30 up the podium.
And yeah, so there's stairs on one side, banner, stairs.
He's right at the point where my range for sneaky sneak wouldn't work. Right?
Yeah.
Because he's 30 away and 30 up.
Well,
No, that doesn't actually matter.
No?
the 30 up doesn't matter.
It depends on how far up he actually... Is he actually 30 feet in the air?
No.
Like he's like 25.
Calculate some geometry.
Yeah.
So that depends on how you rule the spell
A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
working, because it depends on... So it's 30 foot around, and whether or not that is cylinder up all the way, because it doesn't actually...
Yeah.
Area effects like that are weird because they don't have any top.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I imagine it the same like a target. So like to me, you would have to move if you wanted to, if your range was 30 feet for the spell.
But I can move and I can move and cast, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna move up closer to him. I feel like
You can
y'all
move
praised me
3
for this sneaky spell, and this is just my new thing. now.
Well, that's the only thing you can do, right? So.
So if you
I have a lot of
wanted,
shit I can do actually.
Yeah.
you could go
That's
1,
true. That's
2, 3, 4 if you wanted.
I
And do that.
think I'm gonna stick within the crowd enough to not to be close enough to cast this spell, but still be within the crowd enough to not
20. Yeah, that's fine. You could. That's fine.
be exposed.
So
Because
you could
I
be
only
there.
get the one spell, right?
Yeah.
So yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
Now what's your message?
No, you're making him invisible? Or sending a message? Which one is that?
That's a good question. I feel like because he can't do anything if he's invisible, because he'll be silent. And I'm the one who controls that. So I feel like the message would have to, I feel like the message is going to come next round.
Okay.
So I'm going to do the invisible thing for both of us.
Can he hit me as well? Or is that too much?
Well, you're right there next to him.
It's actually, I'm right at the edge of 30 feet from the mayor.
But the thing is, there's up in the air.
True.
So you could get yourself and the mayor, but you can't get behind you.
I thought 30 feet.
Well, yeah, it's 30 feet around me.
Everyone he picks is 30
In any
feet
direction.
around.
But at the ground level. Because he's 25 feet in the air.
I'm confused now.
So anyone, like, if you were, like, imagine it like a radius. Like, you could, if I had a 30-foot rope.
Right.
And I could whip anyone in that 30 feet. Like, if I tried to whip the mayor, that 30-foot rope is not going to reach across and up that high.
But then wouldn't he have to be right next to the stage?
That's the whole reason I moved up, though, was to
Mhm.
cast this spell, not for message. Because message doesn't have a...
Right, but what I'm saying is you can reach him. I'm saying you could reach him from here where you are. You just can't reach anyone behind you.
You can make you, the mayor, and Ash invisible. You can
Oh.
only...
Okay.
No, not Ash, because Ash isn't with you. at
I'm
this
10
moment.
feet behind him.
Yeah.
It says a veil of shadows and silence radiates from you. So it should, because it's within 30 feet of you. So it would be radiating the whole veil.
Right.
Things I pick, right?
But the thing I'm just worried about is, like, if, like, what's stopping someone from, like, in the fucking sky from getting...
Because I pick who it is. It's my thoughts.
Alright, I don't care.
I probably wouldn't envis him in the first place, just for the record. Like, I wouldn't be thinking about him. Mm-hmm. So I will just do the mayor.
Okay.
I was just making sure I can still get the mayor.
Yeah, you can absolutely get the mayor.
So,
did you want to invisible yourself?
Yeah, I would invis myself and the mayor both.
Okay. Next up are the 2 guards. And this one, 5, 10, 15. Okay, and that's all he can move. And this one is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So he runs up to here, but then, like, stops. He's dashing, but then he can't see the mayor anymore, so he's just like... And then 45, 50, 55, 60, and goes to the wife. Next up is the mayor, who is invisibled. Can he make sounds?
He cannot, no. So they're silent and so long as I keep this up.
Okay. So... you would be able to see him, I imagine, as part of, like, in this, like...
That's what I'm
invisible?
assuming.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to you cast invisibility spells, the caster can still see people.
Yeah. So, and I also forgot to say this, he walks with, like, a limp, so he's not able to fight, from what you could tell.
Okay.
So I forgot to tell you that, they know that. He goes up to the podium again and starts to, like, shout something into the megaphone, but he can't make any noise. At which point he's kind of like, he doesn't know what to do. So he's standing there kind of a little, like, thinking. Not totally useless, but his brain's reeling right now.
What is that called?
My spell?
Yeah.
Pass without trace.
Trying to see if my see invisibility would
Mm-hmm.
allow me to see him or not.
Okay. And next up is Ruby. Who does, like, you can tell because you know that she's full of it. She's doing a bad job at oh my god, what happened? And playing the damsel in distress, just playing along with letting this guy 5, 10. Oh wait, she can't, but, like, moving over. She drags him, I don't care. No, you can't move. But 10. 20, 25, 30. Just getting out of there. Because she assumes that her husband is somewhere else at this point because she can't find him.
Okay.
Next up is Bridget.
Alright. I'm gonna yell to my new best friend. So he can still hear me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or should I dash towards him?
No, you can hear him. You would just have to shout.
Okay, I'm gonna shout to him to get the rod.
Okay.
Bad guy.
Do you want to do anything else, or? I know that your arsenal is pretty magical, so.
Yeah. So let me see what I can actually do, cause I'm pretty close to them too. There are only like 2 people.
Yeah, I feel like you would draw a ton of attention to yourself if you cast anything.
Yeah, I agree. I just wasn't sure if you had like a dagger or anything.
I don't know either. I have a quarterstaff. I think I might need help with this.
Need a D.
I mean, which of these can I use? All of them?
Can I see?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use all of them. Let me see.
have one
Blindness and
in
deafness is just verbal, so you could you could get away with anything that says verbal. With somatic, you would have to kind of sneak it, so you would have to do a stealth to not be seen. But you could make someone blind or deaf.
I could blind the bad guy or one of the guards.
You could do that.
So they don't know what's going on and are basically useless. It's 30 feet, and it's only for a minute. But
Yep. So which one do you want to blind?
well, the one that's closest to me, so they won't attack my friend.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. They have to
That's
do
a
a
30.
spell save. I believe your save is a 16, 17.
It should say.
Well, they rolled an 8 no matter what, so they are blind.
Where is it? It's a 15.
Okay.
Spell save.
Yeah, they are blind.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Next up are the red shirts, I'm pretty sure. Yep.
I need a DM call. So see invisibility. Technically, this is not invisibility. So I don't know if see invisibility would work.
I would say yes, because, yeah, for this. But if it was like darkness, then I would say no.
Okay.
So.
In that case, I'm gonna interject and pass see cast
you're
see invisibility.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay. And do you move?
I can see him up there now,
yeah,
right?
he's not moving. He is intent on trying to figure out how he can make himself talk again.
Okay, so I'm gonna move. I don't know if I can reach it.
So this would be 10, 20.
So I'm trying to get somewhere he can see me and outside of the crowd near this staircase.
Okay, so then 25, 30 is how far you can move for now.
Alright.
You're trying to get somewhere where he can see you?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you break the crowd? Well,
yeah, so
But the thing is, if you...
Can I also wave?
Yeah, I would say, like, you could bonus action try and get his attention by waving.
Yes.
Do a performance check to see if you could, like, break the crowd.
18?
Okay. You catch his eye, but it's not his turn right now, so
Right.
we'll go.
That's, yeah, all I want to do is catch his eye.
Okay, next up are the red shirts. And these move over here and start ushering people out. So I'm going to say about this many funnel out. God, I hate picking up D4. They're the worst to pick up.
I'm going to run to the bathroom quick.
Yep. 5, 10, 15, 20, and they usher these over here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 goes here. This one is blinded. He's going to delay right now. And this one, seeing that this one's been blinded, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and puts himself in between. Next up is Rod. What's Rod gonna do? Rod fires another flaming arrow. And let me just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 9, 10. Okay, so he's gonna roll a d10 to see which block he chooses. If he rolls a 9, he hits him. That's a 6. Okay, but it's still a flaming arrow. Yeah, that's a lot. So now there's a fires bursting out over here.
dice.
And then next up is this guy who moves right here. And he takes a big old swipe with his sword. Big swipe. Let's see, that's a plus 7. So that hits him. Hits him once, he goes to take it again. Hits him twice. And what's that? 4, 7, 19 damage, and then Make a perception check on him.
Because that always works so well. 11.
Okay. You see something like bright erupt from his sword and kind of like you only notice it because you're looking at him and he's your new BFF. So he did like a shitload of damage to begin with, and then like when he jabs his sword like into the guy's like arm, you see like a pulse of light just erupt and hurt him for even more.
He's using magic.
Has
And
Bridget
Rod-
found her new husband?
Yes.
Oh my god! And he knocks Rod prone with the sheer
Nice.
force.
You're welcome.
Ash, you're up.
Ash, okay. Cool. Oh, fucking Inquisition, eh?
And the stage is on fire.
Oh, yeah. Wait, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I
The
forgot.
stage is lit.
This spreads to here.
Cool. I am going to, like, be waving and move.
Uh-huh.
5, 10, 15. Like there.
While waving, like moving.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly like because I don't want to try to go on stage because I feel like the Inquisition's gonna like stab me.
Close that down.
Mhm.
Well, there's one right behind you.
Yeah.
They're working on crowd control right now.
Oh, gotcha. So they're occupied with other things.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Is he trying to like make this fire go out, or what's he doing?
Do an insight check on him.
18.
He's there to stop anyone from going in or out.
Oh.
Not long, motherfucker.
You're preparing something. You're cooking something up.
I don't know the druid spells at all, so I'm having to like triple check what they do if I
Okay.
do the same thing. But
Mm-hmm.
In
Maybe.
that case, I also need to steal that book.
What are you trying to do?
Suggestion.
Suggestion is they have to do a wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they don't know they've been attempted to be charmed. And then you could do something that lasts for up to 8 hours until they complete the task.
Right. So my suggestion is that it would be a very, very good idea to help with crowd control down here.
Okay. What's your save? Oh.
16.
Yeah, he doesn't get it. So you see, like, kind of his like eyes like haze over. And that's that for now. Lucky, your turn.
So he didn't get it. He's still up there.
No, he will be. He will be
It's
coming
just not
down.
his, yeah.
Oh,
This is not his turn yet.
I'm not gonna do that. Technically, they're up in the air. And I have a spell which brings them crashing down to the ground.
But they're on ground.
Yeah, so it doesn't really work. But if we made him jump first.
I can't ask him to do anything that's going to actively hurt himself.
Okay.
And also, there's the...
Yeah, I don't want to. I wasn't sure what the spell was. Huh. I feel like I need to give Mayor Guy a message because you just waved at him, right?
Yeah, but
So-
you need to tell him that he's invisible and should come down here.
Yeah.
But I don't know that you have message, so...
Yes, he did. He gave me a bit.
Yeah, but
He
I
would-
wouldn't know that he has message.
Oh,
He would have just thought bagak. but
Yeah.
that's
I
it.
wouldn't even see that. I would have felt him like turning around on my head and doing shit. That's
No, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send him a message say, "You're invisible, but not invulnerable. It's time. Like get off the stage as quickly as possible."
Can you tell him to go towards me?
head towards? Well, I mean, I would see you over there. I'm
Metagaming.
assuming since you're out of the crowd.
Yeah.
Probably best to head towards Ash.
Okay. That happens. Next up are these guys. this one's gonna follow 5, 10, 15,
Do you need the light on?
30.
Would that be nice?
This
No,
one
go ahead.
is going to actually here, because they stand there and do fuck.
What?
Because they only use bow and arrows and it's range, so they're going to have disadvantage on the guy because he's prone. Does he know? What else do they have? Let me just see.
I'm not sure what's happening, so I don't know.
So when someone's prone, it's really good for like,
It technically adds cover, kind of.
yeah.
For range.
So you know what? They're gonna put away their bow and take out a scimitar and go right up to it.
Kill some
Like a
people.
Yep.
shaped sword.
Well, good thing they have advantage. Oh, they fucking crit on him. So that's going to be 2.
I just want you to play Ariana Grande's "Thank You" next when he dies.
What?
Magically throughout the entire forum.
12.
Just blaring from the walls.
And then they're gonna offhand with a bonus action.
I have Skywrite. I could do that.
Oh, they fucking hit
It's
him
just
again.
verbal.
But let's
so
just see if that's
put
a
"Thank You"
second.
next up in the sky.
For another. Okay.
Really the pop
He's not
demons
having
right
a good
now.
time. So Rod's looking like he's knocking on death's door right now. Because the 2 NPCs are just curb stomping him essentially.
Good.
Next up is the
That's what happens
mayor.
when you shoot flaming shit at the mayor.
Are they just like normal people, or are they?
So,
No, they're
Guards,
guards.
too.
They're city guards.
yeah, this is a city guard that's going ham on him.
Okay.
This is
Oh, my friend.
your
yeah.
friend that fucked him up to
Yeah.
begin with. Next up is the mayor, who looks over to where the Inquisitioner is, looks over to where the city guard is, and he doesn't know if he can trust them. And he jumps
Oh,
and
wow.
grabs onto the banner and tries to do like a little slide down on the banner.
Ow.
He doesn't have much of a choice.
But he
Grandpa.
has plus 10 dexterity right now.
That's true.
He-
That is true.
Oh my god. Let me pull
Thanks
up.
for remembering that.
You're welcome.
He's like the
Yep.
most agile, older mayor man we've ever seen.
Injured in war, but
Well,
still.
that's an 18, so he's able to jump down. That's his movement. For his action, can he do anything? No, he's going to hobble over as a dash to you. And he doesn't know if you can see him, so he just like grabs your arm. Yeah.
I can see him right now.
Yeah, but he doesn't know.
I'm staring directly at him the entire time.
Yeah, but like he just heard you're invisible.
Okay.
So he's
yeah.
not leaving anything
Because I don't
up
know
to
that you can
chance.
see him either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's true.
he
Just smart.
goes over and just grabs your arm. It's 5 out of 10 uncomfortable. Out of 20 uncomfortable. Next up
He has a
is Ruby,
strong grip.
It's alright.
who is going to 5, 10,
Oh god, I killed that bitch now.
15, 20, 25,
We
30.
really don't. We can get her later. There are plans.
Oh.
And 1 second.
I really want to impersonate her later.
Okay.
You don't know what's going on because it's too far in the crowd.
I don't know.
You're kind of in the thick of it.
Yeah, you're like behind a
Yeah.
huge swath
Like
of people.
this is you.
Oh, I thought I was the other one.
Nope.
The
You're the
one.
D12.
That one I thought.
Nope.
No,
So
that
you're
makes
behind
more
us.
sense then. Yeah.
Yup. So you can't see
Okay.
what happens there, but something happens.
Mm.
Next up is you.
Well.
Blind that bitch.
Oh, you know, Dissonant Whisper does have a 60-foot radius.
Oh my god.
I think. Well, so the city guard is helping my friend take out the bad guy.
Yes.
And we don't want to kill her. Should we just let her like run off? I think so. Like my focus is on killing that guy,
Mm.
and then going with my friend over where everyone else is.
Mhm.
So how dead is the rod guy?
He's looking fucked up.
So
Like-
there's not much left to finish him.
Mhm.
So I'll let that be done by the guard rather than my friend, and tell him to like come and like come my way basically.
Okay.
Or would it be smart of us to like take out the Inquisition?
Yeah,
I don't think we should. I mean, well, I wouldn't.
I think
We're in
we
the-
should rather like make our way out, right?
We're in the middle of a city controlled by the Inquisition right
Yeah.
now. So
Because if we
if we
start
kill these
killing
guys,
people,
they're gonna bring in
Yeah.
reinforcements.
So I'll tell him to let it be and come over here. I yell at him, and can I do like? Do I have to
do a
something?
persuasion check because like he
He's
is.
into.
He's
I
in the
mean-
middle of battle.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh, shit.
24. I
Yup.
think.
Okay, you could tell you have him charmed. Like.
Wrapped around my finger.
Next up.
18-year-old nobleman.
Next up are the.
You have such a shiny armor.
So, what happens? Let me think. So, these two usher these out. Like, I'm talking about these and this group over here.
Nice.
Fuck. That one's somewhere that I'll find later. This one.
Many years from now.
Yeah. This one rushes to crowd control. Pushes them up here. These push them up here.
Wait, no! Don't forget about Lucky. Lucky's still
Oh yeah, sorry.
Well, I mean,
we need
if
him.
they usher people out.
I'm sneaked.
Are you letting yourself be ushered or no?
No, I'm not letting myself get ushered.
That's fine. So these are over
He's
here.
also invisible.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you are. I forgot about that.
This one's gonna do an insight. Does not see anything. And he is how long does
Only a
Mine-
minute, so
yeah.
Well,
and the
that's
other thing
plenty
is
time left.
every round is 6 seconds. So
Yeah.
you have 10
Oh.
rounds.
Yeah, so it's going to make
He's
it's going
blind
to
for
make
quite
a
some
saving
time.
throw and does not get it. So this one, like this one's still blinded.
Mhm.
This one is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
He's not
30.
helping his friend.
He kind of like went like this, and when he realized nothing's happening, he's not going to waste his time with
Okay.
it. Next up is Rod, who's going to stand up.
Die.
And what's he gonna do? I know what he's gonna
Does he
do.
get a tax of opportunity when he stands up? Is that still a thing in 5e?
I don't do that personally, because I also think of the like if you were prone, and you were already dicked to like get a attack of opportunity. There we go. I was looking for a Rod on the character name sheet, but of course there wasn't one. He's going to take out his scimitar and make a swipe at this guy.
Oh no.
That is +4. Jesus, that doesn't hit him. Holy shit. That was an 18, and
I
it's
got
still
us a
not.
tank.
Man, and you could tell he was going to fuck him up, because he's really good at what he does. And then after that is this guy, and he is going to dash to you.
Mhm.
Oh, 1, 2, go over here. You know what? No, first he's going to take one final swipe. I lied. He wants to. He could still do it.
He wants to finish his business. I
Yeah.
understand.
Misses the first time. Probably gets the second time.
I love dual wielding. It's a lot of fun.
Well, he
Yeah,
actually
what?
just gets he just deadass gets 2 attacks.
Oh, right.
And that is
Because that's what level he is? Jesus, he's at least a level 5 then.
Well,
I got
that's
us a
max
strong
damage.
tank.
Yeah, you did.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
12. Yeah, he pretty much just one more swipes murders Rod and
straight.
rushes over to you. And awaits your next order, apparently.
Well, Bridges just got a new husband.
Yeah. Well, a man toy at least.
And there we go. And next up is Ash.
All right. Well, he's just gonna start walking towards the gate, and he's gonna be like, "Hiya, Mayor," and then he's gonna start walking towards the gate.
Okay, you know what, I'm going to... Do you want to, quote-unquote, delay your turn to be with the mayor? Like, so you three work at the same time?
Yeah, if we could all be on the same turn, that'd be great.
Okay, so... And, Lucky, would you want to be on the same turn, or do you want to do something different?
Nah, I think I'm just in escape mode right now.
Okay.
Also, we need you to be within 30 feet to keep this ruse up, so...
Yeah.
Please do that.
Yeah, you
So-
better stick.
You know, I'm just going to... 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Are you going to dash to get out, or are you going to just walk and keep with the crowd?
I mean, is the crowd freaking out?
The crowd's freaking out.
They're
So-
flying arrows, so I'm sure.
So dashing wouldn't be
Fiery arrows.
that out of character then, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out, like, you know... I mean, I could make a performance of freak-outedness if you'd like.
No, I mean, I just wanted to know whether or
And the
not I should
mayor
take you off the
run
map or not.
like
Oh,
that.
yes, take us off the map,
Yeah.
if we can.
I'm going to say the two of you are like, aren't, you know, like,
Helping him.
yeah. So you are off the map for now. This guard is
We're just
going
gonna leave
to...
you here, Bridget. You have a strong, strapping man.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm having the best time of my life. I don't have to kill no one, but people die.
Oh, I really want to wink at your guy before I leave. Really bad.
Okay, so that happens.
Keep your fingers off my
20,
guy.
That happens. Next up is Ruby.
So silly.
That bitch.
Okay, so she's there. Bridget, it's your turn.
I think we just gonna make our way out of
Okay.
there too.
Sounds good. The red shirts. And here's the thing, like, yes, the red shirts are doing stuff, but, like, they don't know you from anything else. So you are now out of combat.
Okay.
What's the first thing you do? Because how long does... you're pass without trace him.
An
right?
hour. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or until-
you're not,
I'm
so...
not. I'm just
Um,
strutting down the street at this point.
okay. What time is it? Okay, so you know what? That seems like a good time to stop and go into discussion. Unless you wanted to, like, debrief and try and, like, figure out what you would do with the mayor or something like that. It's
So
up
the
to you.
only reason that I would say it might be a good idea to figure out what we're doing with the mayor is because I will not be here next game.
That is true.
So whatever I can do to make sure, you know,
Mm-hmm.
next group has the best opportunity to, like, actually get
Sure.
stuff done.
I mean, if we move all our characters into in Ash's house, that's a kind
Yeah, that home,
Kind
your
of.
house seems like the smartest
of
choice.
safe
Mm-hmm.
house or whatever, safe place.
I don't think anyone's really looking for that home.
Base.
Mm.
Probably not.
Yeah. Do you talk to your, like, new boyfriend at all? This.
I probably should. Yeah.
Are we just, like, walking down the street together?
Yeah, like,
getting
he's-
some ice cream,
Like,
like
you're walking
having
around
a
and...
date.
So...
That's a wild first day.
It's a good way to start a marriage.
Mhm.
It's
Kill the
pretty
man
much-
for you.
Just imagine, like, you know, you are passed without trace, so is the mayor. This is what you're looking like right now. Like, you're supporting dead weight. Like this.
Well, you don't need to
No,
support that
I
way
mean,
once
like,
you get
I
out of there.
imagine that he is, like,
Oh,
gripping
okay.
my arm. I am not. Like,
Okay.
I was trying to make that look as natural as
Okay.
possible.
So, the guy will
So
look at
smooth.
you, though, because you're, like, lagging behind a little. And he goes, are you hurt? Do you need help?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Don't pay attention to him.
How did you know what was going on?
Good
A
intuition.
little birdie told me.
I hear the voice of a bird telling me. Intuition. It's a long story. If you're interested in hearing the full story, like, come with us and we can, like, make
To your
friends.
house.
Yeah.
We can chat.
Yeah, we can have, like, a coffee together and talk or something.
He's into that.
Nice.
So Ash is just gonna be like, Gregory will make coffee, and I do have a lot of bedrooms.
Getting more and more annoyed with how we just take over your house. Basically.
No, he doesn't care. It's not. It's
Okay.
not really his house. It's his mom's house.
Do a perception check on this guy. And did you even ask for his name at this point?
Nope.
No. Who needs a name?
Wait, so is this a perception?
Just perception.
Just a perception? All right. In that case, 23.
Okay. He. Would you know what like a paladin looks like? Because he's a paladin.
Probably.
Yeah. So he seems to be like well put together. He might have had like kind of like a shady past, but like it's behind him now. Just by the way he's kind of like scoping
been
things
saved.
out. Yeah. So like the way that he scopes things, he kind of like his mannerisms are like kind of like Franz in a way, like where he's kind of like looking around and like trying to pretend that like he's fancier than he is. And he does look like, kind of like a better looking version of Franz, I guess. But,
Hey, hello, 505.
Hello. But yeah, so paladin with a shady past, more or less. But he seems good now.
Well, I might should ask for his name.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should ask for his name.
Yeah.
So, like, what's your name? Like, what's your deal?
And he goes, well, my name is Tomas. Nice to meet you. And he flashes you a smile, and
Exotic. Exotic.
yeah. And he goes,
That sounds foreign. Where you from?
I'm actually from I can't even say my own fucking city-state. Pajania, which is a city-state in the south.
See?
See,
You're
now
not wrong.
I'm like really worried that Thomas is actually gonna come.
Tomas.
No.
Oh.
Thomas is actually gonna come here and be like, which NPC should I play? And that would be funny.
That would really be funny.
And then when you ask what's his deal, he goes, well, I'm in the army, and we were dealing with a situation up north, and it's getting pretty bad, so I was going to come to...
Yeah, sounds great.
Wow!
Damn!
Just shut it
and he
down.
Looks...
No.
And...
Yeah. I'm super, like,
Uh,
in... What would you say, like, aufgeregt? Like disarray or whatever? Like, from all the excitement.
Yeah,
I'm
like
just,
overstimulated.
yeah.
mm.
So overwhelmed with, like,
There
all
you
the
go.
things that are going on. And someone died finally. Like, I'm excited about that.
Nice. Raw.
Thrill of battle, kind
Yeah.
of.
Your
So as you're
ex-boyfriend.
like
Yeah.
wooing this guy over here, he's gonna be like, so Mayor, nod if you think we should trust this guy.
Oh, I like it. He gets a nat 20 insight on this guy.
Nice.
And give me 1 second. He goes, keep him around.
I mean, he's got to nod or shake his head because I
He
can't hear
nods.
him.
He nods, yeah, I
I
forgot
can
about
see
that.
him, but I still can't
Yeah.
hear him. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, he looks and he squints and he does give a little bit of a pause, but then he eventually nods his head.
Alright, well, then I am assuming they're gonna go back to their house and drop the spell and all that jazz.
Sounds good.
Sure,
and
that
when
guy's
you,
real surprised.
Yup. And just to end today's session gameplay wise, Yasmin greets you and she goes, I still haven't found Rover.
Oh, you know, he's around.
Alright.
He sometimes, hides in the weirdest places.
Hides in plain sight. Alright, so thoughts.
Have you explained to them what this part of the
Hmm?
session is? These two?
Oh,
No.
no, sorry. No, I didn't.
alright.
So pretty much we usually do 2.5 hours of play, 30 minutes of like talking about it, talking about
Oh.
gameplay. Not quite a debrief, but just like general things.
Sam, how many games have you been involved in? Because I know it's not that
That's
you're pretty new.
the third one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before it was more like, I don't know.
And chat, if you have any questions, feel free.
Yeah, please ask about our characters.
We were just fooling around more in our other.
They were like, no, because it would have been 4, because we did that one shot too.
Oh,
It was,
yeah,
like
true.
steampunk themed.
But it's usually like this.
What is your class in the other one too? Because it's not a wizard.
I think it is. No, it's. I forgot. We haven't played it.
It's been a while.
Mm.
But yeah, just like still learning the ropes.
Yeah. How did you guys like playing NPCs?
Fine. It's
Yeah.
a little weird to have the whole story already fleshed out, but it's almost nice because then you could just come into the.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was a little confusing at first because there was that whole
Yeah.
like plan, and then
Yeah.
if you just jump into the story, especially at that point, I think for next week or whatever, it's an easier point to like now go from there.
Mhm.
Then like we were mid-action kind of jumping in,
Yeah.
so that was a little like complicated at first, but
Mm. I felt bad that cause like as a wizard, like your thing is to cast spells, and the one combat that you had, you couldn't.
yeah, I really
I
couldn't.
don't know, you blinded somebody.
Well, I did that, and I had someone else kill stuff for me, so kill people
Yeah.
for me. That's the best way to go.
You didn't even need suggestion
Yeah.
for that. You just had to bat your eyes at some guy.
It's fine. It's a little weird to come into a dynamic that you don't know anything about. Or
Mm.
like,
Yeah.
don't know how to play per se.
Because there seemed to be a lot of history between the characters,
Mm.
and it's like hard to gauge that.
Mm. I think what's interesting, because this reminded me of how, like, in a lot of comics, the same character's written by different writers. So I was kind of imagining, like, passing over the NPCs to you. It was kind of like that. I'm not sure how you felt about that, thinking in terms of different writers with the NPC.
I mean, I agree. It's a little bit hard because, like, literally Ash treats Lucky quite badly.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, really? That didn't come across this time.
right, and I felt like, well, now that there's an actual person here,
I mean, I'm still a person.
I can't do it.
Yeah, they were
How
really
harsh were you?
condescending.
Oh.
So bad.
Yeah,
Interesting, because you would feel uncomfortable about that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah. Well, because, I mean, Ash is he's a different kind of character than I normally play. Because he has two distinct personalities. Like in terms of his history here in this city as a total like fuckboy, like around like in college and with Lucky, and then like when he left, he realized how much of a douchebag he was.
Oh, okay.
And like grew as a person, but now he has to like, and that's why like he's called Ash because that's the name he took on, and that's like the person he is outside of these cities' walls. But here he's Alabaster, and it's been kind of different for him to be back in the city. But
I like how in the beginning, like, you didn't know what to do with, like, an 18-year-old. Like, I don't know, would an 18-year-old say this? But then towards the end, you're like, I'm 18, and I'm
I just, I had to, like, kind of get into the zone.
Embrace
there.
the role.
Yeah. Yeah. Get a feel for it, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it depends, like, the dynamic. I didn't know, like, taking on this character, what she was like before, kind of, so didn't want to go too crazy.
I think that you did, Bridget.
Yeah.
Justice.
Okay,
I think
that's
so
good.
too. Because she only existed for about for an hour and a half of gameplay before this.
Okay, so not that.
And she just came off as like a smart person, but that's about like smart and stubborn. So
Apparently with thirst for blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thirst
Apparently
for blood.
with a thirst
And
for blood.
thirst in
Jesus.
general.
I love it. Yeah, and so I'll let you. Yeah, because I'll just say it now because you'll find out come next time you're here. But the paladin guy is actually Franz's older brother. So
That's great.
Yes!
I think it's hysterical that Corey's gonna show up next week.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I want to miss that. There are so many jokes. There are just so many jokes that could be made.
Especially since
Oh.
and we got like one person in chat right now, so I hope it's not Corey. That's the reason why I was like, oh man, like he needs to see what happened this one in a way, but it actually he kind of doesn't, because I thought that you would actually get a lot farther. I thought that the forum thing would happen right away, but nope. So now Corey's just gonna stumble upon his brother getting hit on by Bridget, more or less.
I mean, I told you that there's always a way.
And I agree with you. I agree with you, because the other thing is I had stats for a lot of the guards and the Inquisitioners, and you didn't engage with them, so they had no reason to engage with you. And you didn't really flaunt your magic in a way that would draw attention to you, so you avoided fighting 6 Inquisitors because you played your cards right, quote unquote.
We played our cards that way. Like it could have gone just as equally well if we had killed all of the Inquisition here now. It just would have put us on a very different track.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. As it like so, I mean, I think of Ash as a true neutral. I used to think about him as a chaotic neutral, but the farther I go, the more I'm like, I think actually he's closer to a true neutral. And just does not engage in violence very often.
I feel like the one thing I praised for this whole round as a character was the sneaky spell at the start. So that's my new jam. And I will be sneaky spelling it across the whole country if I can, probably.
Yep.
I feel like that would be something Lucky would do.
So,
liked it.
are you guys, are they coming back next week?
I didn't ask him to. You're welcome to show up whenever you want, but I was just asking for...
Next week.
We'll have to see, yeah.
You certainly don't have to. I was just wondering.
Yeah, it was more for, because pretty much we usually have Corey and Eric, but both of them are not in the state right now. Corey's actually where I want to be right now, which is my home, but he's just in New York, so he's not actually in my home.
Your home.
In lovely Wisconsin, and this gorgeous weather we're having.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful outside. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So great.
It's fucking raining.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe next week. Maybe we'll see if we have stuff going on. But yeah, it's fun to play him and find things like that. Although also Leah's right. Anytime I join a game, I'm not going to do what you want me to do. Probably. It's like the opposite.
Yep. My favorite was just when you were just like, "This is not a trap." Like at any.
Well, the one time when in the old campaign, when we were supposed to essentially fight a bunch of people, and they were like, "Nah, we're just gonna teleport across the world." Or there were 2 times. There was one we were supposed to fight a bunch of people, and we just snuck out essentially. And there was another time where it's like, "You could go to this really cool city over here," and I was like, "But what about this other cool city on the other side of the world?"
Which I had nothing made up for. So I had to make him a bunch of shit for on the spot. The other one, they were like, I had this whole campaign planned, and then they were like, nah, first 20 minutes of the game, they're like, we're just gonna deuce out and teleport over this way. And I was like, well, we're gonna take our break early. Because I have to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do now.
I don't envy the DM.
Yeah. But. Especially with teleportation or stuff like that. You can...
That would make that type of campaign particularly tricky.
That whole thing was all my fault because I reminded them that they had the potions.
Why do you think I made magic new and everyone's low level spellcaster?
That's smart. That's a really smart move.
And I like the idea of that world actually very much.
Yeah, it's a cool world building.
Just sparked out of nowhere, and now people have to kind of deal with that situation.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
It's also a really realistic reaction, I feel like. If magic suddenly showed up, people wouldn't be... I feel like some people would be really cool with it, and some people would be exactly like this, like, no.
Not in my city.
It's actually almost exactly the opposite of the world that Josh was a part of, which was like super high magic, like charisma shots in your latte, kind of magic that have been around forever, but...
Yeah, it's hard as a DM because I don't want to railroad people, but sometimes I'm just like, this is too big of a thing because like.
No, we needed to go to the forum. I'm glad that we did. That was a lot of fun.
It was.
It also makes sense story wise, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still want to.
I mean, and it was a trap, just not for us.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. it was just like how, because that was how I was going to have you introduced to Tomas. I wanted you to see that he was actually trying to, banish the Inquisition and embrace magic users, even though he didn't get around to saying it.
He kind of did. He was like, I'm not gonna be a part of the Inquisition anymore. Bye. Oh,
cut the deal, but also get an arrow.
Yeah.
Shot at him.
Yeah, you saved his life. He was gonna die. Like, originally the text said, like, it gets him square in the chest and he goes on fire. Like...
Well, that's when we found.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So...
A living mayor with an assassination attempt.
Yep. And a wife who's...
gonna die.
That's... Oh my god.
I'm
kind of sad
just to kill her.
Like, I am not lying. I just said Ash avoids violence, but nah, that bitch going down. Like, wholesale.
Yep. And I have to one-on-one it with Eric to figure out what he's been doing for the past 2 days while there's an assassination attempt.
I feel like I would love to do, like, an off week, like, when I come back, where it's just, like, an off, like, Ash just left to go murder this guy's wife. Like, that's just what he's doing.
Oh my god. Assuming you can find her. It's a big city and she's got the Inquisition on her side.
True.
Would you not try
I
to
can
seize
infiltrate.
power some now?
I can
there's a
infiltrate the
vacuum of
Inquisition.
sorts?
That's not a problem.
You are such a dictator, like a bloodthirsty dictator. Bridget over here, how do we seize power in this city now that there's a vacuum?
No, the mayor's wife. I meant the mayor's wife.
I thought you were talking about
Use
our
that,
little
like-
cadre of people.
No.
Bridget in the kitchen with like a map of the city. Well, these people owe me favors.
Well, let's have our own city,
Maybe you don't want us back.
No, I mean, it's whatever. Like, both of you are always welcome.
Because that's as a DM, you probably want to still have your cohesive narrative and all that work out. And I can imagine that it would be frustrating to a certain point when people take it too far off the rail, like when they start going completely different. But that's just, I've never done it, so that would be my thought.
I mean, that kind of depends on how you end up DMing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the way that I deal with it is I always have basically 3 different stories that could happen, and most of them converge on a single end. Like, if I have, like, if I know that I have to end the campaign, all 3 of them will converge back, but there are, like, several different ways to get there most of the time, except for when they do crazy things.
And I like it because it's kind of a, like, exercise in your own dexterity as well. To be able to come up with things. Because, yes, technically, I probably could have come up with something other than the form. It's just I was so dead set. I was like, I set it up. I wrote stuff. You're stuck
You wrote
with
the
it.
speech!
So, but there's plenty of times where, like, in the same campaign where something I completely did not intend to happen, and the entire session, it was just on the fly.
Okay.
So that's why I try not to plan too much. Because I get my heart set on it.
Yeah.
Like, there was these 2 brothers in the beginning that I wanted a redemption arc for one of them, and they just murdered him. Like, they tracked him down and murdered him, and I'm just sitting here like, I loved him. Not really. But yeah, and what was cool though is letting you guys play the NPCs, because like it's cool seeing the characters take on a different life with a different perspective, because like I wasn't gonna make Bridget thirsty,
But that's
now
how
she is.
Lucky had some character development. Because while I was him, like I played him as like an inept crybaby, and then they also, because like it's a quote unquote like mindless NPC, they were able to rag on him a lot more. Like if you watch like the tapes from previous things, it was just dog puns and you're a baby and the adults are talking here, go outside. But you didn't get any of that, so that allowed Lucky to kind of grow a bit. And then we found, he's a bird now, whereas before, in my head, I was going to have him never cast any spells and just have him be able to do extra wild shapes instead.
Huh,
so like
okay.
using quote-unquote spell slots as wild shape slots. But once you were playing it, I was like, alright, I gotta let him have stuff to work with, so I'm just gonna make a normal druid. So now I'm having it, he can do spells, he just likes to wild shape most of the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed it, but he's like a level 1 fighter, level 2
Yep.
bard, level 2
Of
druid.
course he is. Of course he is.
Because I don't think he got to this, but like he dropped out of bard college and he dropped out of fighter school and he like is dabbling in.
I think you
theater.
wrote the dropped out of Bard College bit to me.
Yeah.
The fighter stuff was new. I didn't know that until I was looking at the character sheet.
Yeah.
The druid stuff was the coolest to work with, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played a 5e druid before, and it's actually my favorite class in any fantasy game ever is druids.
Nice.
But 5e does weird stuff with them.
Yeah.
It mostly just doesn't let them heal as much as I would like them to, but
Mm-hmm.
it gives them a lot more wild. Like, I can, like, skywrite if I want to, and all that requires is a verbal and a somatic, which is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of other stuff that, like, is interesting to play with. So also figuring out how much he would even think to do that is interesting, because I don't know his backstory or how he got to the druidism, just, like, he figured it out all of a sudden. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, like to me, like how do you think Lucky would have figured out that he can change into animals?
I think that just would have happened.
Like, he just would have told me.
I feel like would have happened. He would have been stuck as a dog until he figured it out. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
That's in line with how you play them for sure. Like,
Yeah,
just
that's true.
doing weird things and then having to like deal with the consequence.
Well, because that's how I was playing the sneaky spell, Pass Without Trace. It's almost just like, oh yeah, I can do this. Like, not that he would actively be thinking about it, just like, because the one thing that you did convey was that he has a deep desire to like please and be admired, and I feel like that would have been like, oh yeah, I can do this cool thing that would be really helpful right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's where that comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, I mean, druids can be, like, powerful, like, spellcasters, but they can also be good supports.
Mhm.
So I thought that especially, like, a low-level druid would be able to make a good support, which would go in line with his character.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he has a ton of cool support stuff built in, also from the Bard, which is where the message actually comes from, is from Bards, not from druids, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a neat way to mix up a class, because he is very supporty. And there's other stuff that's in here, too, like, there's some elemental weapons and things like that, but I never even thought about playing with those, not just because of magic, but also because he just doesn't seem like the type to actively want to murder anybody except the wife. But not because he doesn't like her, but because she didn't cry.
Yeah. I like that you make that distinction, too.
Yeah. He's not upset with her for anything except for the fact that she didn't cry at his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Not best friend.
No, best friend.
I mean, I think that Lucky might consider her his best friend,
Sure.
but they don't consider him their best
That's
friend.
fair.
Oh.
I actually, on your spell list, I purposely picked one of each element because I feel like Bridget wanted to, like, learn each kind of thing. Bridget was very much the fuck you up type. So when I picked her spell list, it was very damaging. And I was actually worried what you would do as a spellcaster in a form full of people, because a lot of those are AoE spells. So I wondered, like, is he going to, like, not care about the civilians that are there in order to get that? And that was something that I kind of laid out and just to see what would happen. And you didn't use it because you had, like, eyes on you.
Yeah.
But you also could have just been dumb 18-year-old and went, fuck you, fireball, you know?
It helps you.
It
really
was
charge
kind of
that
tempted
guy.
to, but I had the muscles do that for me, so.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I would have done that. I think so. Just because I like it personally more, and I think it would be like the thing that she would do too. Like, even though she's intelligent, like as I got more into the
She's
like
also not very
18,
wise.
yeah, not wise. Once you said that, because I didn't think about that with the what is it, perception thing. When you said she's not wise, that like made it clearer for me that she would do such a thing, like just talk to a stranger and say, kill this guy for me or something like that, because she's like just following her guts or whatever.
Yeah, because I think I maxed out her int as much as I could. Especially she needed that as a wizard anyway. Yeah. And it's interesting how you used Tomas, because originally, like, he was just gonna, like, what I planned on having him do was see you guys, like, working in some manner differently from the rest of the crowd, so he would have followed you to question you, not work for you.
What can I say?
But yeah, does anyone else want to bring up conversation topics, or? And I think we have 5 minutes. I didn't want to domineer.
I'm glad that I got to play with you, Josh.
I know,
This is the first
it's
time that
fun.
we've both been players, and that was really
Oh,
fun.
yeah, you were
She's
always
only ever
there.
been a TM, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a wild card. Not actually. I don't actively try to be a wild
No,
card.
but
That's
you-
the fun thing. Like it's me trying to play the character as I think the character would react.
Right. Well, I think all of us worked together relatively well. Like each
Mm.
of us did the stuff that we needed to do to like.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we worked a little bit independently, we all also played off each other and like
Yeah.
what everyone else was doing. You know.
What is the like main objective, and then how can we all like, get there?
Mhm.
All right.
This was fun.
Yeah.
This was fun.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to go to the dot. So like, I'm
Alright.
happy to close off. Any closing thoughts, or we good?
No. Great way to
Yeah.
spend Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great way to spend Memorial Day, indeed.
Yep. Peace out. Thank
See
you for
ya.
joining us.
Bye.
We'll see you next week.